A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the Demon of Fire. In just a minute, we'll visit Chief Cody in his office at Fire Department headquarters, where he has just asked an important question of Jimmy and Trudy, brother and sister of Tim Collins, the young fireman. But before we hear the answer, here is a message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Fire Department headquarters, where you remember Chief Cody has been telling Jimmy and Trudy Collins the story of the big fire, the conflagration of years ago that almost burned the whole city to the ground. And as the chief ends his account, Trudy Collins asked,
But Chief Cody, you said they had fire engines and ladder trucks and hundreds of men. Why did the big fire get away from them?
Didn't he say the wind was blowing all the time? Steady, all 3 days the fire was burning?
You keep still, Jimmy Collins. You weren't there.
She's got you on that point, Jimmy.
Oh, golly, the way you told it, I felt as if I was there.
Well, if you'd been there, you'd be your own grandfather. It was so long ago.
Yep, it was so long ago. And that's the answer to your question, Trudy. How the fire got away from the department and burned for 3 days and might have gone on and burned out the whole city.
If they hadn't stopped it with blasting powder.
That's right. You see, in the old days, they didn't know as much about fire prevention as we do now.
Oh, maybe that's why we don't have so many big, terrible fires.
Yes, it is one reason, Trudy. Cleaning up the city, storing things carefully, building houses and factories and so on that resist fire. Well, all those things prevent a blaze from spreading too far, too fast.
And you said the architects give us better architecture.
Oh, they do now.
They do, too. Well, Chief Cody said so. He said...
He didn't say architecture. He said... golly, you got me mixed up, Trudy. Now I don't know what's the right way to say it.
Could it be architecture?
Well, that's what I said, practically. Chief Cody, you said the big fire happened on a kind of a bad kind of roof.
Yes, the mansard roof. A very convenient kind of architecture, but it had a lot of exposed woodwork. And the big fire ate its way through block after block of those roofs.
So now they don't architect roofs that aren't safe anymore, because they know more about fire prevention.
Yeah? Well, how about it, kids? Why don't you put the story of the big fire into that play of yours, huh? The fire prevention play that you're going to give at Northside School.
Hey, Trudy, that's an idea.
Oh, Jimmy, do you think we could?
We can ask Miss Grabble, can't we? There's no harm in asking, is there?
Oh, thanks, Chief Cody. You always give us brand new ideas.
And thanks a lot, Chief. And thanks for the story, too, about the big fire.
You're welcome, kids. Now run along home and get to work on that play. Time I gave a little attention to this department business on my desk.
As Jimmy and Trudy hasten homeward, full of plans for rewriting the fire prevention play, their firefighters' brigade is to present an assembly at Northside School, Chief Cody digs into the pile of reports, applications, and correspondence on his desk, losing himself in his work until...
Yes, Glover, what is it? Private Collins? What's he doing here at this time of day? Says I sent for him? All right, Glover, send him in. Great blistering blazes. What did I want to see Hooksy Collins about?
Private Collins reporting, sir.
Tighten that knot in your tie, Private.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's better. What's that on the sleeve of your jacket?
Where, sir?
That thread. Looks all of 6 inches long. Pick it off.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever forget the details, Collins. A good fireman keeps himself smart, inside and out. That's important.
Yes, sir.
Don't neglect your uniform.
No, sir.
Yeah, well then...
Sir?
I didn't say anything, Collins. Don't keep interrupting.
No, sir.
Well then, Collins, I hope you know why you're here in my office.
Well, yes, sir. You sent for me, Chief Cody.
Oh, I did. Yeah. And naturally, you know why I sent for you.
Well, no, sir, I don't.
Oh, you don't, do you?
Well, no, sir, but may I ask a question, sir?
Well, you may.
Now, don't get mad now, Chief, but do you know why you sent for me, sir?
Private Collins, that's... You young whippersnapper, you caught the old man off guard. I hope you knew what I wanted, and maybe I could worm it out of you.
Oh, don't let it bother you, Chief. None of the boys can figure out how you keep track of everything as much as you do.
I'm getting old, Collins. It's working 48 hours a day, slowing me down. I'm losing my memory.
No, not you, Chief.
Well, this time I'll have to ask Glover what I...
Your clerk, Chief?
Yeah.
Well, Glover said when I was coming in he has the reports from promotional school when you want them.
That's it. That's what I wanted to see you about, Collins. Your record at promotional school.
Oh, I had the usual notice through the mail, sir.
Yes, the notice that you completed the course to the satisfaction of your instructors.
Yes, sir.
But your actual rating, Collins, your rank in the class you train with, that's what decides how soon you're eligible for promotion.
Oh, yes, sir, but they don't tell us how we made out, Chief.
No, that's confidential. But I can tell you this much. You finished among the first 3, Collins.
Oh, good grief.
Yes, sir, a mighty fine score, boy. And I tell you this because I've got a problem on my hands. Now, 2 of your group, you 3 who finished at the top of the list, are going to be promoted.
Oh, then the problem is, which 2 of us 3 jumped from private to lieutenant?
That's it, Collins. We have 2 openings for new officers.
Yes, sir. Well, whatever you decide, Chief, I know we'll all be satisfied, even though I don't know who the other 2 men are.
They're good men, both of them. It's a tough choice, Collins. You see, we need officers for one of the ladder companies and for an engine company, too. And, well, any of you 3 would fill the bill exactly for either post.
Oh, Chief Cody,
Yes, Collins?
Chief, a long time ago, when I first got my appointment to the department...
Not so long ago, boy, when you're as old as I am. I can remember when your own dad got his appointment, and, well, to me, it's just like yesterday.
Oh, I was thinking about my father, sir. When I got my appointment, you gave me a choice. Do you remember, Chief?
Yes, you said you wanted as much firefighting experience as you could get, all through the department.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to follow in your dad's footsteps.
Yes, sir, and since then I've served with old 3-1s, the ladder company Dad started in, and I've served with Engine 209.
Yeah, I think I see what you're getting at.
Yes, sir. Chief, I worked hard at promotional school, but... Well, I'm glad I'm eligible for one of those lieutenancies, but...
But maybe you'd rather have a transfer instead.
Could I, Chief?
To what division, Collins?
Oh, well, I don't know yet, sir. Good grief, this came so fast. I just haven't thought.
Well, go home and think it over then.
Yes, sir. I'd like to talk it over with Mom.
A good idea, Collins. Your mother knows as much about the department as any man on the force.
Dad used to call Mom his deputy when he was chief.
She'd have made a good one. If she didn't have all you young Collinses to raise. Well, go talk to her, son. Make up your mind, and when you're ready, we'll discuss that transfer.
Meanwhile, at the Collins home, Trudy and Jimmy are deep in preparation for their fire prevention play. Jimmy is complaining.
Ah, gee. What are we going to do about Miss Gravel, Trudy? We know she'll want us to put on her old pageant anyway.
Oh, but didn't we decide about that, Jimmy? That we'd be nice to Miss Gravel and get her old pageant over with, and then we could do my play.
Well, sure, but now what? Now we got 3 plays.
3 plays? Well, who else wrote a play? You never told me that.
No, I mean, now we got Miss Gravel's pageant, and we got the play about firemen you wrote yourself. And now we've got to write another one about the big fire Chief Cody told us about.
Well, I know. Let's make them all into one play.
Gosh, that would take all day and all night.
Oh, my goodness, Jimmy, don't you know anything about plays at all?
I know plenty about plays. I guess I heard plenty of plays on the radio. More than you, even, because I'm 2 years older.
Oh, don't be silly. Those 2 years before I got here, you were only a baby. Bet you never listened to the radio or anything else. So you haven't either heard more plays than me. And if you knew anything at all, you'd know how they do. They say, meanwhile, and then they tell you what's happening somewhere else.
Oh, I get it. Say, supposing we're acting out your fireman's play, the announcer says something like, meanwhile, the spirit of fire prevention is over somewhere else defending our citizens, and all the other stuff, just like Miss Gravel wrote it out,
Well, that's right, Jimmy. Maybe while we're acting out my play, the announcer says, meanwhile, outside the big fire is raging and ravaging and eating up everything with its octopus tongue. And
what kind of a tongue is that?
Well, the big fire has 8 tongues, like an octopus.
Gee, you sure, Trudy?
Well, come on, we'll look it up and start writing.
Oh, no, it's too soon before supper. I'm too hungry to write. Well, let's rehearse instead. Let's do the big fight part.
Yes, if we're going to act out my play I wrote on the stage and have the announcer meanwhile all the rest.
Come on, Trudy. I'll be the fireman and you'll be the arsonist. The one that starts the fire.
Well, I haven't written out all the speeches yet.
Who cares? We can make 'em up. You know, just like a fight on the radio.
All right, but don't knock anything over like the last time. Now, you catch me sneaking away from the burning building, Jimmy.
Halt! Stop or I shoot. Don't stir a step or I'll let you have it.
Well, now...
Stop! You can't get away with it.
Hey, everybody, I'm home.
But you're not
Stop it, I said. You can't get away with it.
Good grief, what's going on in there?
You
No.
Hey, Trudy! Jimmy!
I'll get you away from here.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Take that.
No, you don't.
You arsoneer. Ouch.
Don't hit so
Hey, what goes on?
I'll beat your ears down.
No, you don't. Now break it up. Break it up. Cut it out. Cut it out. What's got into you?
Go up there.
The lamp. Oh, Jimmy knocked over the lamp again.
Oh, golly. It's all right, though. It didn't break anymore.
What's the matter here? Jimmy, Trudy, I'm ashamed of you two.
Oh, hello, Tim. Did you see our play?
Huh?
Just like the radio, Tim. Did you hear us going, no, you don't, like in the big fight scene?
Oh, good grief, and I almost sent for the rescue squad. Rescue squad? I wonder. Hey, Mom! Mom, I've got to talk to you.
Now, what do you suppose he's got to talk to Mom about all of a sudden?
Jimmy and Trudy can't guess, but maybe you know what Tim Collins has in mind when he rushes off to talk to his mother about the rescue squad. And maybe your guess is right, because you heard Chief Cody's offer to transfer Tim to any division of the fire department he might choose. So to find out if you guess right, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody with another word about those handy little fire extinguishers. One of the most common is the little carbon tetrachloride extinguisher. And best of all, this vaporizing liquid extinguisher can be used on any kind of fire. Now, that's worth remembering for home protection. So long for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's go! Let's go! Firefighters!
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the murdered Confessor. A thrilling counter-spy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by delicious Pepsi-Cola. And now, another report to the American people. In your family's interest, listen to these findings. Recently released by the United States Testing Company, Incorporated.
After thorough and impartial tests, Pepsi-Cola proved of highest purity. Pepsi-Cola has more quick food energy and value, ounce for ounce, than any other leading nationally known cola.
Yes, tested, compared against all other leading nationally known cola drinks. Pepsi-Cola won out. You get the best and twice as much in delicious Pepsi-Cola. And now to Counterspy. On a side street in Washington, D.C., a man walked slowly along, clutching a paper bag and peering at the numbers on the doorways. Suddenly, he stopped, mounted the stairs of a shabby-looking house, and pushed the bell marked Dr. Gregor.
Yes?
Is Dr. Gregor in?
Have you an appointment with him?
No, I have suddenly become ill. I have eaten too much candy.
What kind of candy was it?
Turkish candy.
Oh? What is it called?
Halva.
Just a moment.
Yes?
Dr. Gregor, there's a man here. Says he's ill from eating too much candy. I think you'll want to see him.
Send him in, Sonia.
Go right in, please.
Thank you. Dr. Gregor?
Yes?
I have eaten too much of my native candy.
What kind of candy did you eat?
Turkish candy. Halva.
Oh. You are Burov, eh?
Yes.
When did you arrive?
Last night in the United States, an hour ago in Washington.
Sit down. You have your instructions?
All but the time and the place.
So, Murak will arrive at the same airfield on which you landed. At 3 this afternoon.
I shall be there.
You must not fail.
In my business, one cannot fail. I have practiced it all over the world.
Good. That is all, Burov.
Goodbye, Doctor. Long live...
Shut up and get out.
Yes, of course.
Yes, Dr. Kreger? Come in here, Jensen. Well, did you get his pictures, Jensen?
Yes, several.
All right. Develop them at once. And then study them carefully.
Yes, sir.
Wait. It is a uniform of the Washington Police Force.
Yes, Doctor.
You will put it on and go to the airport.
Yes, Doctor.
Pose as one of the policemen guarding the crowd. But make certain to be near the man whose picture you have just taken.
Yes, Doctor.
After he has done his work, shoot him. Remember, he too cannot leave that airfield alive.
And this is your radio reporter, Ben Pervin, broadcasting from the airfield in Washington, D.C. We're awaiting the arrival of Igor Murak, the diplomat who escaped from behind the Iron Curtain and fled to the American sector in Berlin just 3 days ago. He's been rushed to the United States, as you know, by special plane. I see an official automobile of the State Department has just driven up, and now some important officials are going out onto the field. And here's the plane, ladies and gentlemen, coming in for a landing now. In just a moment, we'll see the man who dared to renounce his country and flee to the protection of the West. The plane is now slowing down near the little knot of government officials out there, crowds being held back by police. And now the plane has finally ground to a stop. Reporters and photographers are starting to race out onto the field. Attendants are rolling portable stairs up to the plane. The door is opening, and Mr. Murak is stepping out, waving his hat to the crowd. Photographers' bulbs are popping, movie cameras. A shot! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Murak has just been shot!
This is David Harding. Wherever my assistant Harry Peters is in Counterspy headquarters, drop what you're doing and check local police precinct 17. Police badge number 7683W. Then meet me outside the State Department building with my car. That is all.
Sit down, Mr. Harding.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
You know, of course, Murak is dead.
Yes, I got the report just before I came over.
It's a heavy blow. He had invaluable information for us. Acting on it, we might have been able to safeguard the peace of the world for years.
Well, they were determined that it not get to us. There were 7 counterspies at the airfield, besides the regular local police detachment.
Determined and desperate. We've got to catch them and catch them fast.
We'll do our best, of course.
Harding, we must prove to the world that people can come over to the camp of free men and come over safely.
Well, I'll take charge of this case personally, Mr. Secretary.
Good.
We'll let you know the moment anything breaks.
Somewhere behind that Iron Curtain, Mr. Harding, other men are waiting to exchange information for freedom. But now they'll wait to see whether we can protect them. We've got to convince them we can.
Over here, Dave.
All right, Peter.
check the police precinct?
Yes. Dave, there is no such police badge as 7683W in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with the captain who assigned that detail of men to the airfield, and he's positive that the man must have joined the squad after they got to the field.
What about the men?
Well, I talked with every one of them. Now, none of them ever remember seeing him before. He was a phony cop, Dave.
I thought so.
Where to now?
General Hospital. The assassin who shot Murock's there.
All right. Get in the car, Dave. Have you given orders to round up all the known foreign agents?
No, we know where to find them when we want them. They're too smart to have anyone who's been operating in this country for any length of time do this job. They wouldn't take that chance.
Figure the fellow who killed Murock is from outside the country.
That's my hunch.
What about the phony cop?
We'll get to him later.
Was Murock's assassin badly wounded, Dave?
Unconscious when they took him off the field.
You better go a little faster, then.
That's a good idea. Use that siren. Hello, Stevens.
Hello, Mr. Harding. Mr. Peters.
Everything quiet?
Yes, sir, except for the reporters.
Oh?
They've gone over to your office to get a story from you, Mr. Harding.
Good. That'll keep him busy for a while.
How is he, Stephen? I don't know, Peters. The doctor's in the room with the assassin now.
Come on, Peters. We'll go inside.
Right.
Remember, Stevens, nobody gets inside but the hospital staff.
Yes, sir.
I'm David Harding, Dr. Harris. This is my assistant, Mr. Peters.
Oh, glad to know you, gentlemen.
Can we speak to him, Doctor?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mr. Harding.
Is he still unconscious?
No, but one of the bullets tore away his larynx. He'll never talk again.
Do you think he'll live?
Well, it's a little early to say. He's rallied pretty well under the plasma and the transfusions we're giving him.
He's a very important prisoner, Doctor. At the moment, the most important we have.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Harding. We'll do our best.
One of our men will be in constant attendance, Doctor.
I'm afraid I'll have to ask him to stay out in the anteroom, Mr. Harding.
Well, that's all right, Doctor.
Thank you.
Come on, Peter. Good day, Doctor.
Good day, gentlemen.
Bye.
Now, Peters, you stay here in the hospital. I want you to handle things from this end. I'm going back to the office. If anything breaks, I'll get in touch with you.
Right, Chief.
Come on, Stevens. Let's get back to the office. I've got work to do.
Sonia.
Jensen.
Is Dr. Grigor in?
Inside. We were listening to the radio.
And he knows, huh?
Yes.
Well, it couldn't be helped.
You'd better go into him.
Yeah. Leave this package here.
Well, Jensen?
Doctor,
You bungling fool, he's still alive.
It couldn't be helped.
That is no excuse.
I shot him 3 times. The man must be made of iron.
Then you should have shot him 4, 5, 6 times if necessary.
I tried, but a counterspy grabbed me. Had a hard time getting away in the excitement.
He's got to be put away. That man cannot be allowed to live.
If he's dead by now.
The radio just announced that he is alive, but cannot talk. It gives us a little time yet.
They might be lying.
These capitalist simpletons are too naive to lie. They worship gossip under the guise of freedom of the press.
Well, what do you propose we do, Doc?
Shut up! I'm trying to think. You get rid of that police uniform?
It's outside.
You fool. Put it in the furnace.
Yes, sir.
Wait. I'm not finished with you. Are you recognized by that counterspy?
No, I'm sure of that.
Good. Now listen to me. They have taken him to General Hospital. You will have to go there and finish the job.
They won't let me in to see him, will they?
Of course not, you idiot. There will undoubtedly be a guard there.
I don't see how
You will have to pose as a hospital orderly and gain admittance to his room that way. After you have dispatched him, come back here.
All right,
Here, take this knife and do your work quietly. But this time, Jensen, do not bungle it, or else you will be sent back to answer to the Central Committee itself.
Just a moment. Where are you going?
I must tend the patients in this room.
Are you a doctor?
An orderly. You?
I'm his guard.
Oh.
What are you going to do for him?
Well, he's got to have another transfusion.
I thought only doctors gave transfusions.
Practically a doctor.
Do you know how to give a transfusion?
During the war, I gave thousands of them. I was with the medical corps.
I see. Well, if the doctors think it's okay, I suppose it's all right.
Thanks. You'll see that I'm not disturbed, won't you? Patient as ill as he is must have absolute quiet when he gets a transfusion.
Sure. I'll see that no one gets in. That's what I'm here for.
Well, thank you.
Finished so soon?
The plasma is going in on him now.
Well, where are you going?
For more plasma. I'll return in just a moment. Meanwhile, make certain that no one enters that room. If he did, it'd be fatal.
Peters to Harding. Peters to Harding.
Harding to Peters. What is it, Peters?
It went just as we planned it, Dave.
Good. Where are you?
In my car, C Street, Northwest. I trailed suspect 1 here. He's gone into a Dr. Gregor's office at number 23 and a half.
Good work, Peters.
I'm going into the doctor's office myself, Dave.
Well, give us 10 minutes before you do. We'll cover you. Or anything else?
Yes. There's an automobile parked across the street with a doctor's emblem on it. I figure it's Dr. Gregor's car. It's been there for hours. I checked for dust and tire marks. And, Dave...
Yeah?
Before I go in, I'm going to put this walkie-talkie under the rear end of that car. I'll set it on continuous wave oscillation, so if anyone leaves in the car and we want to follow, the boys can pick it up with a direction finder.
Good. Now, Peters, are you going to pose as a patient?
Yes.
Then park your gun. The doctor may examine you. You don't want to arouse suspicion.
All right, Dave. Tell me, have you got a cover on the hospital?
Yes. Now, synchronize your watch with mine. You ready?
Ready.
14 and a half coming up. 3, 2, 1, woof.
Check.
Remember, don't start for 10 minutes.
Right.
Good hunting, Peters, and watch your step.
I know, Dave. These fellows are playing for keeps.
In a moment, back to Counterspy, presented by delicious Pepsi-Cola. Have you heard about those tests by that famous laboratory? Have you heard the latest news in the Pepsi-Cola story?
Yes, there's big news about Pepsi. The cola you've always known was most delicious, the cola you've always known was best value, is now shown to be the cola of proven highest quality. That's right. The U.S. Testing Company, Incorporated, reports you get more quick food energy ounce for ounce in delicious Pepsi-Cola than any other nationally known leading cola drink.
Yes, your Pepsi is really top. Tastes the top, is the top, and gives the most. So go ahead, enjoy that extra zing and bounce delicious Pepsi gives you. Insist on it wherever you may be. When you stop at the fountain, make sure you say,
Pepsi, please.
When you stop at a stand, make sure you say,
Pepsi, please.
And at the store, get Pepsi in the money-saving carton of 6 big 12-ounce bottles. Pepsi's 6 bottles serve 12 refreshing glassfuls. Twice as much. So save money and get the best. Come on, sing the Pepsi song with us.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Twice as much and better, too. Pepsi-Cola is a drink for you. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola.
Now, back to Counterspy. David Harding's assistant, Harry Peters, has just trailed a fake medical orderly to the office of a doctor. And now, posing as a patient, he has gone in himself.
Could I see the doctor, please?
Do you have an appointment?
No.
I'm sorry, but the doctor sees patients only by appointment.
Well, Miss, I feel pretty sick, and I was in hopes
What
that...
is it, Sonia? Dr. Gregor, this gentleman wants to see you. I told him you saw patients only by appointment.
What is wrong, Mister?
Well, Doctor, I was walking along the street, and suddenly I got very dizzy. I thought I was going to faint, so
Perhaps you had better come in and let me have a look at you.
Thank you.
See that we are not disturbed, Sonia.
Yes, doctor.
Now, Suppose you tell me about this dizziness.
Well, as I said, it just came on me all of a sudden. I was just walking along, and suddenly I got very dizzy.
Had you ever experienced this condition before?
No.
Would you remove your coat, please?
All right.
You can hang it on the back of that chair, then.
Thank you.
You know, a dizziness such as you have just experienced could have been caused by a constriction of the blood vessels because of some weight. Say, for instance, a shoulder holster and gun, which I notice you are not wearing as usual. Mr. Peters.
You know me, hmm?
Do you take us for fools? Do not move, my friend. It would prove fatal for you and embarrassing for me. Jensen. You bungler. Do you see now whom you have brought to our nest?
The hospital guard.
Hospital guard, nothing. He's Peters of the Counterspy.
I didn't know he was following me, Dr. Gregor.
You never know anything. You've got to get out of here. Inform Sonia and then bring the car around to the alley. Wait. Give me your gun.
Yeah.
All right. Now, quick.
Running won't do any good, Gregor. We're bound to get you.
Yes, that is a matter of speculation, Peters. Right now, I have you. Though I would rather have your superior, Harding.
I guess you would.
Someday I shall, my friend.
Jensen has the car at the side door, Doctor.
All right, good. Get my doctor's case on. Make sure it has a hypodermic in it.
Here it is.
Good. Oh, look in that cabinet. You will see a vial there.
The one marked SA?
Yes, put it in the case.
Anything else?
No, that's all. Are you ready to leave with us?
Yes.
All right. Put on your coat, Peter.
Where are we going?
For a drive.
All set, Dr. Gregor?
No, not just yet, Jensen. Open the top drawer of that steel file. There are some long cylinders there.
I got them.
All right. Put one in the outer office. Unscrew the cap when you do. I will do the same with one here. Then let us get out. We haven't much time.
I was covering the building as you wanted when suddenly flames shot out of a window. I ran for the firebox. It was a block and a half away. Then I came back here after notifying you.
Peters was in that building.
Peters?
Where's the fire chief?
Right over there.
Come on.
Please let me through here.
Chief.
Yes?
I'm David Harding, Counterspy. One of my men was in that building.
Oh, Mr. Harding. Well, he wasn't when we went in. My men went through it from top to bottom.
Oh, well, did you see anything of a car in front of the place when your men came up?
They'd moved that car to the alley, Mr. Harding. I watched them. The man who moved it went back into the house.
And they must have been getting ready for a getaway. They set the fire and left while you turned in the alarm.
Yes, it was set, all right. From my war experience, I'd say that fire was set with magnesium.
Well, Chief, we'd like to go through the building when you got the fire out.
Well, if there's anything left, Mr. Harding.
Thanks. I'll leave some men with you. Come on, Stephen.
Where to, Mr. Harding?
Back to my car. I want to call for some men. And then get on that direction finder.
Just up ahead, Jensen. Turn into that private road.
Yes, sir.
All right, Peter. Get out. Sonia, bring my case, please.
Yes, Dr. Gregor.
Jensen, put the car in the barn, and then join us inside.
All right, Doctor.
All right. Come along, Peter. Inside, fast. Take that chair, Peter. It's the straight-back one.
As you say.
Jensen, you have come just in time. Tie him to that chair.
Yes, sir.
If you struggle, Peters, I will shoot you.
I know when I'm licked.
You are a wise man, my friend. Sonia, prepare that hypodermic with the fluid from that vial you took out of the chair.
What is it, Dr. Gregor?
Sodium amytal, the so-called truth serum. When he gets a shot at it, he won't be able to help himself. He will talk.
All tied, Dr. Gregor.
Good.
Here's the hypodermic, Doctor. All loaded.
Thank you. Hold my gun, Sonia. Now, Peter, this won't hurt a bit. You see? That is all, Peter. Now we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your eyelids are beginning to droop. Good. 10, 11, 12, 13. That's it, Peter. Relax. Take it easy. That's it. Now, Peter, how did you know Jensen?
Watched.
Where?
Hospital.
Where did you watch in the hospital?
Outside the door. A wounded man.
What did you see Jensen do?
Go inside.
Did you see what he did when he went inside?
Yes.
So, you saw him kill Bullock?
No.
What?
No.
Didn't you see him stab Bullock?
He didn't stab Bullock.
He's lying, Dr. Gregor. I stabbed him 6 times in the heart.
Shut up, Jensen. Who did he stab, Peter?
No one.
Doctor, I tell you. Shut up, you fool.
What did he do, Peter?
Stabbed dummy.
The dummy? Jensen, you will pay for this.
You shut up.
Peter, where was Bullock?
Moved to other room.
And you put a dummy in his room?
Yes.
Why?
Fool you.
You knew we were coming after Bullock?
Yes.
How?
Broadcast reports of Bullock's improvement.
You tricked us into believing he was better, huh?
Yes.
How did you know we would come to kill him?
Harding figured you would. Too dangerous to live.
These dogs are smarter than I thought. Peter, where is Harding? Peter, answer me. Where is Harding?
On way here.
Here? How would you know where to find us?
Follow frequency signal.
Where is the signal?
On your car.
Jensen, Sonia, we will have to leave here immediately and get out of the country, too. They know us. We can be of no further use to the cause.
But, Doctor, the only one who knows us who's seen us is Peters.
Yes, you are right. Give me the gun, Sonia. Thank you.
Dr. Gregor, you killed Jensen.
Fool. You bungled the thing from the beginning.
But Peters...
I will kill him a different way. Give me the hypodermic.
Will that sodium amytal kill him, too?
No, I have something better.
Stand where you are. Put up your hands.
You'll never take me!
All right, Mitch. Put up your hands.
You'll never make me talk.
We won't have to. We heard the whole thing. And Gregor is only wounded. He'll talk. A man like him always does.
Chief, we better get Peters untied.
Just a moment, Stevens. He's still under the influence of the drug. This is an opportunity I'll never have again. Peters, where were you on the night of June 13th? No, you better not answer that, Peters. On time, Stephen. Let's go.
Well, that takes care of an international intrigue. Now let's take care of the refreshments. Bring on those big, big Pepsis and have delicious Pepsi-Cola all around. Tastes good. You just can't match Pepsi's fresh, tangy flavor. And there's plenty for 2 of you in Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottles. Get Pepsi by the carton. It's 6 bottles, but 12 drinks. So save all that money and enjoy that extra zing and bounce delicious Pepsi gives you. Remember, Pepsi's proven highest quality, yet it gives you twice as much.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Twice as much and better, too. Pepsi-Cola is the drink for you. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola. Delicious Pepsi-Cola.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Tuesday for the exciting Case of the Soaring Saucer.
When old-fashioned smuggling methods failed, modern minds turned to science to put new wings on crime, to send illegal merchandise flying through space. For the amazing report of how your counterspies solved the riddle, listen on Tuesday for
The Case of the Soaring Saucer on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Mark B. Loeb, dramatized by Bud Fischel, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. This is Jay Jackson speaking. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some delicious Pepsi tonight.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gut of the prison of the grave. There's no other end. But they never learn. Let me give you an example. I was hired to find a thief, and I did, 1,000 miles from home. But first I found a lush with a Luger, a fresh corpse in the closet, and all because the only woman in sight wouldn't play fair.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of mystery, comes his most famous character and crime's most deadly enemy, as we present The Adventures of Philip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Moore, starred as Philip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Unfair Lady.
The knock on my office door was soft, almost apologetic. So when I mumbled come in, I was ready for something delicate and about as self-effacing as Uriah Heep. But when the door swung open, I knew exactly how wrong I could be. The gentleman was maybe 40, gray at the temples with shaggy eyebrows and a military mustache, and built like a heavy cruiser with a pair of catcher's mitts for hands.
I'm Elliot Flory, Mr. Marlowe. Mr. Ara Bjornson's secretary. Are your services available, sir?
That all depends on what you and Mr. Bjornson want me to do, Flory. What's the job?
Well, specifically, sir, to catch a thief. May I sit down, please?
Oh, of course.
Thank you. Mr. Bjornson is being robbed systematically of diamonds.
Are they disappearing from a store he owns, or is somebody robbing his wife?
No, Mr. Marlowe. You see, sir, Mr. Bjornson owns and operates the Bjornson Mine, the relatively new but important deposit of kimberlite pipe.
Kimberlite which?
Kimberlite pipe, Mr. Marlowe.
Oh.
The geological term of the diamantiferous blue ground which yields the minerals.
Oh, of course, diamantiferous.
Oh, last November, sir, the 21st to be precise, you worked for Mr. Craig Norton, a mining engineer who lived here in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
He recommended you to my employer. Now, Mr. Marlowe, will you take the job?
I don't know. You still haven't said anything about the stealing itself. Is it a Bjornson representative here in Los Angeles who's coming up minus?
It's Mr. Bjornson himself who's being robbed, Mr. Marlowe, at the mine proper.
Oh, I see. And he wants me to, wait a minute. This diamond mine wouldn't be in South Africa.
No, sir, it wouldn't. It's at Rislo. It's a hamlet 100 miles south of Nogales.
South of where?
Nogales, Mr. Marlowe, is a city in Arizona, a few hours' drive from Tucson at the Mexican border.
Now, look, Mr. Flory, I'm a private detective in the city of Los Angeles who's at home in a barn, a back alley, or sometimes with a blonde. Not in rural Mexico, is that clear?
Oh, yes, sir, perfectly. Also, it's something that Mr. Bjornson anticipated. I refer to your reluctance to make the trip, sir. To Mr. Bjornson in Rislo, Los Angeles is the nearest metropolis where a dependable private detective could be found. To you in Los Angeles, Rislo is a new world.
Therefore,
Mr. Marlowe, these papers. The first is your plane reservation, De Luxe Passage, leaving tonight for Nogales, where you will be met and chauffeured across the border to Rislo.
You know, you tossed that off like it was transferring from the red bus to the E-car downtown.
It's less complicated, sir, I'm sure.
It is?
Now, these other papers, Mr. Marlowe, are both checks, each for $500. One is your fee, and the other for expenses, not including your air travel. Your decision, sir.
Oh, well, my decision, Mr. Flory, is that for $500 plus, Rislow is plenty cosmopolitan for me. I'll go.
You'll go?
I'll go. At 8 the next morning, we dropped gently out of the clear sky over Nogales, where I was met by a short, round Mexican who ushered me into a car labeled Bjornson Mines, and suggested that I sleep for the next 3 hours, which was the travel time to Rislow, 100 miles south. So, after 30 minutes of panoramic, dry, sandy hills and occasional cactus, I did. When I woke up again, it was better than noon, hotter than Hades, and we were parked at a filling station in Rislow itself, which could have passed for home if you happened to be a prairie dog. It wasn't until I had my eyes wide open that I realized that the man leaning on the running board inches away and staring at me like my eyebrows were on upside down was not my driver. He was shaggy hair all around an unshaven, unpleasant face that was home to a pair of watered eyes that said he was drinking himself to death. And when he talked, I knew it was on cheap rum.
You're the new mining engineer, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't know it showed.
Since you're an American, that means you gotta be an engineer.
Oh.
No other Americans come out this way. I'm an American myself, you know, from Philly. Good old Philly.
Yeah, it's a great town. What's for sale, hot transits?
No, just being friendly. Name's Calder, M.J. Calder. I'm staying over at the Granada Hotel for a while, first floor rear. Why don't you look me up some night, any night along about 8? I used to be an engineer myself. Might too fat a while.
Yeah, we might do that.
Swell. I'll look forward to it. So long, pal.
When my driver and I were back on the hot dirt road, I was told the Bjornson mine was the open pit type, a deep hole about a half-mile in diameter in the middle of the Bjornson property, which was clearly circled by 11 miles of 8-strand barbed wire fence, which was guarded by 50 ex-GIM Mexicans who were under the iron fist of one Captain Juan Lufino. 20 minutes later, when we entered the main gate and were slowly driving up a neatly landscaped white pebble road, I got a different picture of life at the Bjornson mines. It was the residential side, plush and strictly Beverly Hills, and the sprawling red brick house past the green and white tile swimming pool to the guest house beyond. Inside, I found the multimillionaire himself. It was a bald 50, perspiring and shaped like a bowling pin.
At 10 o'clock last night, Marlowe, it happened again. $5,000 worth of stones. The seventh robbery in as many weeks, excluding, of course, the usual trickle.
The usual trickle?
$1,000 or maybe $2,000 worth a month. That stealing nobody can stop. The natives, the guards, visitors, everybody. But most of them we catch, Marlowe, because in the first place, our policing is very thorough. And second, to steal a rough diamond is one thing, but to get rid of it is something else again.
Well, tell me, Mr. Bjornson, these big thefts you're concerned about, do they all have anything in common?
Yes. 2 things, Marlowe. They always occur at night, and they are the work of somebody who knows my habits and has a good knowledge of the inside of my house. The big safe is never bothered. It is always some drawer or cabinet where I am keeping stones temporarily.
I see. And, Mr. Bjornson, has anybody ever seen this thief?
Last night, Helen Austin saw what could be the man running through the grounds at about 11 o'clock. She said he was tall with a lot of wavy hair. She said that he was not a Mexican. Oh, by the way, Marlowe, Mrs. Austin and her husband are staying in the guest house where you will be put up.
He works for you, Mr. Bjornson?
No, Kelly Austin has a mine of his own about 5 miles from here. Smaller than ours, but rich, nevertheless. Oh, this will be Captain Lufino. Don't mind if he appears unfriendly, Marlowe. He considers your presence here a personal insult. Come in.
You wish to see me, Senor Bjornson?
Yes, Lufino. This is Mr. Marlowe, the detective.
When Senor Flores came back this morning, Senor Marlowe, he spoke very highly of your reputation in Los Angeles.
Mr. Flory only talked to my friends in Los Angeles, Captain. Now, Mr. Bjornson, you were telling me about the Austins.
Yes, they have been with us for 2 or 3 months now, while their new house is being constructed at their own mine. Their last place burned to the ground. I would suggest, Marlowe, that you speak to her as soon as possible. Also, the captain here will tell you of some evidence that he found here on the ground last night.
No, senor. It turned out to be nothing.
What kind of nothing, Captain?
A fountain pen, yes. It belonged to one of the office workers. Senor Barnes.
Yes?
Did you tell him about that Nat Campbell?
Oh, no. Marlowe, the International Diamond Exchange keeps us advised of the movements of the bigger black marketeers whenever possible. 3 days ago, we were told that a man named Nat Campbell, an American who was at one time an engineer, has been operating in Mexico close to the border.
Is there an accurate description of him?
No. Anything else you have to know, Captain Lefino will take care of you. Also, I am sure that the captain will be glad to show you to your room at the guest house.
Sir, it will be my pleasure to assist Senor Marlowe in any way I can. This way, senor, please.
Captain Lufino's interpretation of assist was to hand my suitcase to a boy, point a thick thumb in the general direction of the guest house, and disappear. So after thanking him for his trouble, I went to my room, unpacked, changed into a dry shirt, which was damp again in 3 minutes, and then started for the suite on the opposite side of the building, where I'd been told I could find Helen Austin. But when I was halfway to a screen door, I stopped at the sound of a raised voice that I'd heard before. It was Mr. Elliot Florey, who was about to leave and unhappy about the whole thing. When I was close enough to see Mrs. Austin, I could also see why. The lady was blonde, deeply tanned, just a shade off beautiful, and almost dressed in a white linen shorts with halter to match.
I told you last night.
You're behaving like a fool.
Oh, am I? Well, you just wait a bit, my dear. We'll see who the fool is around here. Oh, yes. Marlowe, what are you doing out there?
Calling on Mrs. Austin. Why? Do I need a visa, Florey?
No. No, Mr. Marlowe. You don't need a visa. You don't need anything. Well, come in, won't you? Elliot was just leaving.
Yes, I have to be running along. I'll see you later, Helen.
I can't wait. Well, sit here, Mr. Phil, isn't it? Phil Marlowe?
Mm-hmm.
Nice name. You know, Phil, I don't often get to see a new face around here, so anything I can do for you will be a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the pleasure will be all mine. But aren't you afraid you'll catch cold?
Why? Don't you like this? I made it myself. I do most of my things, you know. Regional styles are too far behind New York to suit me. My husband, Kelly, says I'm clever.
Better than that, Helen.
Kelly, what?
You're resourceful.
You startled me. Darling, this is Philip Marlowe.
I know. Ira told me you were with us, Mr. Marlowe. Can I be of some help, possibly?
No, not at the moment, Mr. Austin. Right now, I'm only interested in knowing if your wife here can add anything to a description of last night's stranger. Can you, Mrs. Austin?
Why, no. If there were anything else outstanding about the man, I certainly would have told Ira.
No doubt. But what about the run-of-the-mill things? His dress, the way he walked.
Like most men, Marlowe, he wore one pair of pants, one shirt. He had only one head. Also, like most men, he smelled of liquor.
Rum, maybe?
We all drink rum here. How about joining us in some after dinner? Long about 8?
Thanks, but long about 8, I've got to be back in Rislow to see Mr. Calder. Ever hear of him, Austin?
Why, no. Should I have?
I don't think so, no. He'd have very little in common with you people, with one exception.
Which is what, Phil?
Rum, Mrs. Austin. He's crazy about it. After I left Kelly in what with one healthy cloudburst added would make a great Sadie Thompson, I found Ira Bjornson and told him that I thought last night's stranger, one M.J. Calder, and Nat Campbell could be all one and the same, and that I would like to go into Rislow and check on just that, which suited him fine. So after apologizing for having just let Captain Lufino go off the evening in his car, he gave me the keys to a battered station wagon and wished me good luck. 4 hours later, when it was dark and I was in Rislow and walking the dirty length of the ground floor corridor of the Granada Hotel, which was darker, I had a feeling I was going to need it.
Yeah? Who is it?
Marlowe, Calder, the new man at Bjornson's mine.
Oh, fine. Be right with you.
Yeah.
Didn't expect you to take me up so soon.
Yeah, well, you know the mines, Campbell. One's just as dull as the next, huh?
That's right. What did you call me?
Campbell. That's it, isn't it, Nat?
No. Name's Calder, M.J. I told you that today.
Yeah, and at the time I believed you, good old Philly included. Come on, Rummy, uncover the masquerade's over. Open up while you still can talk. What do you say?
Okay. Okay, ain't the biggest secret in the world. Here, sit down.
For keeps. Why, you lousy lush! You don't aim any better than you lie!
I had enough, I tell you.
All right, we'll see. Now, come on, get up. We'll start all over again after we check you once. Your kind usually has a nasty Luger tucked away someplace. All right. Now, what do you know about... Hey, Campbell, that stuff over there seeping under the closet door. The color isn't right for rum, brother. It's too red. Well, Captain Lufino.
Yeah, he said, Marlowe, so don't move. You'll be right with him.
Yeah, you see, I was right, Campbell. Your kind always has a nasty Luger someplace.
Marlowe, I didn't do that. I didn't kill him.
Oh, yeah, sure. He committed suicide in your closet and closed the door as a gag, I suppose.
Yeah, that's enough. I don't try to be funny. I didn't even know he was here. I was out. When I come back, I found him.
Campbell, that line retired with a flintlock rifle. If you hadn't parboiled your brains in fusel oil, you'd realize it.
But it's the truth.
I'll tell you what the truth is, cousin. Lufino had a piece of evidence that tabbed you as being out of Bjornson's mind last night at 11 o'clock. But he passed it off as a fountain pen that meant nothing because he resented me honing into his territory. Then he came here alone to put a pinch on you and get the credit. Only you dropped him instead.
That's a lie. And I can prove it for the best witness in Mexico, next to Bjornson himself.
Who are you talking about?
One Mr. Elliot Flory, that's who. I was in the Cafe Quilota last night at 11, and Flory saw me there.
No dice, Campbell. Flory didn't get in from no galleys until this morning.
You're pretty seedy for a big city boy,
Yeah?
man. You can check the bartender at the cafe and see if I'm not right. But right now, I'm going to put you away so I can get out of here. Now, turn around and walk slow. Out the back way and down the stairs. Go on, move.
What are you going to make my murder look like? Robbery?
Don't act so brave. You'll live because I figure you'll clear me one way or another, whether you like it or not. Now, hold it. That's far enough. Now open that cellar door. Okay. When you get out, don't waste time looking for me. I won't be around. So long, countryman. Don't hurt yourself.
Cellar was as light and wholesome as a Parisian sewer. Even with the help of several generations of termites, it took a half an hour to break out. When I got upstairs again, it was deserted except for the late Captain Lufino. I went through his pockets, but they held nothing more exciting than battered cigarettes and some small change, but under the tight sash around his waist was a small green suede pouch containing 3 minute diamonds in the rough. I began to see what Bjornson meant by the usual trickle. Everybody, including the chief of his own guard, seemed to be in on the act. I dropped the pouch in my pocket and headed for the Quilota Cafe, where 2 American bucks and a nasty snarl at the bartender brought me the fact that Elliot Flory actually had been there last night. Had waited 2 hours for somebody who didn't show up, and then left. That made my next stop the mine. So I bounced the station wagon out of town, back to Bjornson's house, and started in. But a pair of bare shoulders above a snug linen halter intercepted me.
Hello. You're back safe, I see. Enjoy all the sights in our filthy, stinking little town?
Not much, Mrs. Austin.
You should have taken me along as a guide. I could show you lots of interesting things.
Like what, for instance?
Like the sky and the moon. I like things clean, soft. I like lights and music and people. I like you, Mama.
Save it. That buttons and bows routine is strictly your own problem. I've got work, and it starts with Elliot Flory. Where is he?
What makes you think I'd know that?
Because you two have been keeping close track of each other for some time. You're anxious to drop it, but Flory isn't. And now he's got a hold over you, and you're worried silly.
Well, you
get
did...
that, too. From what I know, I can fill in a very unpleasant yarn, and I will if I have to. So come on, baby, no dramatics. Let's have it. Where's Flory?
Marlowe, you're a louse. But at that, you're better than he is. He went over to our place of mine about half an hour ago. I don't know why he wouldn't tell me. Just warned me to keep my mouth shut and left.
That doesn't make sense. Where's Mr. Austin?
My good husband is off somewhere checking on supplies, he said.
Okay, I'll pay a call on Florrie right now. When I get back, baby, I'll have a lot of answers, so I advise you to wait up, huh?
Sure. When you're all through with him, do me a favor, will you, Mr. Tough Detective?
What, throw him back?
No, kill him.
After she said it, she stared at me for a moment and then turned and walked away, and from the bitterness in her face, I figured she had more on her mind than she told me about. But as I beat it around to the driveway where I'd left the station wagon, climbed in and wheeled out the gate, I forgot about theories and headed for the Kelly Austin mine and a big-scale diamond thief as fast as the rutted road and loose body bolts would permit. I'd barely gotten out of sight of Bjornson's house where from somewhere out of the truckload of shadows I was hauling in the rear end of the station wagon, the muzzle of a gun was shoved hard against the back of my neck and held there.
Pull over and stop, Mr. Marlowe, but don't take your hands off the wheel.
Austin, you're off your rocker. You've been working too hard.
Not so hard that I didn't get back in time to see you kissing my wife. You don't deny it, do you?
Well, for what it's worth, you got your subject backward, but never mind
Don't
that.
turn around, Marlowe. I'm sorry about this. I liked you when we met today.
Now, listen. We'll take this up later in detail. Right now, I'm after a guy who's been biting into Bjornson's diamonds, and I'm sure it's his own secretary, Elliot Florrie.
Florrie? Why, that's absurd.
Yeah? And what's more, he's currently up to something cute at your mine.
He's at my mine, Florrie?
That's what I said. Now, after I've seen him, Buster, I'll be indignant with you all night if you like.
You're a clever liar, Marlowe, but it won't work. You're not getting out of this that easily. I'm going to tell Bjornson what you've done, but first, you cheap masher, I'm going to get some satisfaction out of you personally like this. Oh! First one side of my head and then the other exploded like Roman candles. I fell a long way out of the car door to the road. When I finally stopped falling and started back to my feet, I had a double handful of Mexico in my mouth. All the rest of it I could see looked big and black and deserted. The station wagon was gone, and so was my enthusiasm, and the picture of Marlowe on foot in the middle of the Mexican mountain looked pretty stupid. I trudged back toward the house. I stopped as a pair of headlights swung out the gate and slashed down the road at me. Came to a sandstorm halt.
Marlowe, what happened to you?
It's a long story, Mrs. Austin. The less you hear about it from me, the better for all of us.
What do you mean?
That Kelly, your husband, was watching when you wanted to show me the Mexican sky and the moon up there at the house. He was just a teensy bit irate about it.
Oh, is that all?
That's enough.
What about Florrie in the mine, Marlowe?
How should I know? When I got tangled up as a heavy in this corny gaslight melodrama, Wait a minute. Did you put that jacket on since I saw you last?
No, what's the matter?
Come over here in the light. Come on! Sure. Now, listen, Helen. You told me once sewing was your hobby. Did you happen to make this item yourself?
Yes, Simon. What's so important about that?
It's a long shot, but if it pays off, I'll catch both a killer and a diamond thief. I'm going to borrow your car, beautiful.
Wait a minute. I'm coming with you.
No, you're not. I've got to get Florrie and stop a murder, and that takes a different kind of speed than you've got. So long, baby. With every jolt of the car, another Roman candle went off in my head, but I kept the gas pedal jammed to the floor until I saw the turnoff sign for the Austin mine. Then I cut the lights and pulled over. It was 400 yards up the side road to the gate where a Mexican sentry in a battered sombrero leaned against a post on a barbed wire barricade. I skirted him and followed a path outside the fence until I found the landmark I was looking for. There was another sombrero, and a few feet away, sprawled out, sleeping soundly from a blow on the back of his head, was its owner. 2 strands of the barbed wire had been cut. So I crawled through and up to the edge of the big pit. It looked black and bottomless until a tiny flicker of light down deep inside winked on for an instant and then went out again. That was my cue. But I was 15 tooth-and-nail minutes playing mountain goat on tiptoe down 150 vertical feet of ladders and catwalks before I was near the bottom and close enough to hear a pick biting hard clay. When it stopped suddenly, so did I. And listened with my .38 clenched in my hand. But Florrie had been surprised by someone from the bottom of the pit, not by me.
Austin, how did you... No. Don't shoot, Austin, please.
Why not, Mr. Florrie? You found what you were looking for, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And what precisely did you find? My mine has run out? That it's worthless? That I've kept it going only with stolen diamonds?
That's right. I suspected it. Now I know. You're the one who's been stealing from Bjornson. You bring the diamonds here, you salt your own ground with them, and then remine them as fresh stone.
And get the full market price, yes. But what do you hope to achieve with this information now, Mr. Florrie? You realize that I have to kill you?
No, wait. I have nothing against you, Kelly. In fact, I have a proposition to offer you.
You're in a poor position to bargain, but go ahead.
Now, you'll never get away with killing me.
Won't I? I got away with one murder. Bruno.
He would have found out about me eventually because I made a mistake last night. But that sot Campbell will take the blame for him. And right now, you're just another trespasser, so make your offer. Make it good. Go on, go on.
All right. I promise you, no one will ever know about this. If you'll get out of Mexico and leave Helen here with me.
You dirt. I'm not going to shoot you, Flory. I'm going to strangle you with my bare hands.
I ought to turn my back and let you. Yeah, school's out. Drop it, Austin. Stand still, both of you.
No, it's too late for that.
You hit him, Marlowe. You got him. I think he's dead.
Yeah. And I got something for you, Flory. I hope I can get the slime off my fist.
Please, Marlowe, pour yourself another here. It'll help your headache to go away.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Bjornson. It's cooler out here than it was inside. It's better now, thanks.
I don't know. I am happy and I am sad both. You found me my thief, all right, but you lost me a friend in the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we live out here, our friends are as dear as our diamonds.
Well, there's one thing about diamonds, Mr. Bjornson. They won't go bad on you.
You're right there, my boy. It's hard to realize that Kelly Austin was our man.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
You said it was Helen's jacket that gave you the answer. How was that, Marlowe?
Well, Lufino was carrying a little green suede pouch. I thought it was his. But actually, that was a piece of evidence that he found last night. It wasn't until I saw Mrs. Austin's jacket of the same green suede that I realized the pouch must have been made from the scraps left over from the jacket.
I see. And since the wife sewed the jacket herself, that made the husband the logical owner of the pouch.
That's right. You know, in a way, you might say Helen's responsible for the whole mess.
How do you mean, Marlowe?
Well, it all adds up like this. Helen wanted diamonds bad. Her husband started stealing for her. Things went well until he almost got caught.
That was last night, huh?
That's right. Running across the lawn, Kelly dropped the little pouch. Lufino, who caught sight of him, followed and found the pouch with the 3 diamonds.
But Captain Lufino thought Campbell was the thief and went to Campbell's quarters in Rislo to force a confession out of him.
Mm-hmm. Kelly followed him, killed him before he learned too much, knowing that the rum-soaked Campbell would take the rap.
That Austin woman, she's got no business here in this desolation. She loves diamonds, but not in the rough.
No. She wants them around that beautiful neck of hers, with big city lights bouncing off them in all directions. But the lady wouldn't play fair to get them.
She's packing now. And Mr. Flory has already left bag and baggage. Even Lufino is gone now. You know, it's going to be lonely around here, Marlowe. I couldn't prevail on you to stay over a while.
No, Mr. Bjornson, I'm afraid not. I'd probably catch myself picking little pebbles out of every clay bank I found. And the first thing you know, I'd be stuck here, too. Besides, what would Hollywood Boulevard do without Marlowe? And vice versa. When the driver who was taking me back to Nogales was finally ready, and we started out of the mines, I took a long last look down into the gaping, dirty, lonely pit that was the Bjornson diamond field. And then, as we headed north and for the border, I settled back and thought about my own diamond field. The one that stretched out for 50 miles from the San Fernando Valley to Long Beach in blazing brilliance. Yet, in its own way, I knew it was just as dirty, just as lonely, and just as tough as the pit at Rislo. But it was my hometown.
Adventures of Philip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, star Gerald Moore, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Parley Bear, Betty Lou Gerson, Hans Conried, Paul Dubov, Wilms Herbert, and Nestor Paiva. The special music is by Richard O'Runt. Be sure and be with us again next week when Philip Marlowe says...
She had soft brown eyes and an accent, and she came to town with a job to do. But before it was done, death had struck 3 times. Then she was gone. And all because of 30 drops of pigeon's blood worth $50,000.
Later this evening on CBS, you'll hear a voice saying quietly, a tortoise told a household pest, goodbye, goodbye. And MD said, you'll pass the test up in the sky. Those words are a magic key to $53,000 in cash and prizes. Like to take a try at it? Then be waiting for Sing It Again, CBS's hour-long fun fest of music, laughter, and wonderful songs later tonight on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Now, stay tuned for Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And now, in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States, Gangbusters! Gangbusters, the only national program that brings you authentic police case histories, has asked C.W. Bud Young, Sheriff of Washoe County, Nevada, to narrate by proxy tonight's case. Sheriff Young.
Thank you, and good evening, Gangbusters listeners. As all police officers know, an important break in a murder case can sometimes be nothing more than a tip. An anonymous phone call to the police, an unsigned letter, even a rumor, these have often brought a killer to justice. And tonight's unusual case contains just such a break. It began on December 8th when a vacationing carpenter named Roger Kensel ended a brief visit with friends near Los Angeles, California. Early that morning, he set out on the highway to drive home, and about noon, he pulled his car to a stop.
What, fire?
All the way.
Well, come on.
Thanks, mister. I've been standing there for 2 hours.
I don't pick up hitchhikers ordinarily. Guess it's pretty cold, all right?
Sure is. Myself, I had in Reno, the mercury's down to 32.
Don't say. Live around here, do you?
They're just passing through. My name is Olney, Steve Olney.
Well, mine's Roger Kensel.
You live on the coast, Mr. Kensel?
No, I've been visiting friends in Los Angeles. Hey, you mind more company?
What?
Up ahead there on the side of the road. That fellow looks like he could use a ride, too.
Yeah, he sure does.
Think I should stop?
Well, it'll be nice of you, Mr. Kensel. It's awful cold out there.
Oh, why not? Got plenty of room. Maybe later on we can spell each other at the wheel.
I'm a good driver if you want me to take it, sir.
Just open your door for him, will you?
Yeah, sure thing.
Want a lift?
Yeah, you bet I do.
Hop in. You're in the front's okay.
Just get in the back, mister. Don't need to crowd you up front.
Suit yourself. This fella here is hitchhiking, too. Oh, yeah?
I just got in a mile or so back.
I guess this is our lucky day, huh? You and me.
Looks that way.
That does?
I think so.
Good enough for me. What's his name?
Kensel.
You say something to me? No, but I'm going to. Let's pull over the side. What?
You heard him pull over.
Grab the wheel, Steve. Make sure.
Oh, just a minute.
All right, now relax. Don't try anything. This ain't a cap pistol I got here.
Look, just don't hurt me, you understand? Don't get nervous or anything. I swear you can have it. Turn off the motor, Steve.
Right.
All right, you
You two, you know each other.
Ah.
I don't understand. You're a mile apart.
Yeah, we travel better that way. See what he's got, Steve.
Oh, still. Suppose I hadn't stopped a second.
You asked too many questions. Find anything?
No, not yet. Hey, listen to me.
You'd have stopped. Steve would have seen you there.
Sure.
You just made it easy, Mr. Kent. All right, Only. Let's take him.
I'm ready. You. Turn around. Take me. Take me where?
For a walk, sweetheart. Now move.
Look, we've been here in these woods all afternoon.
Time sure flies, huh, Mr. Kemple?
Well, won't you at least tell me what you're going to do?
You'll stay. Won't he, Mike? That's right.
I told you, take my car. You got my money, take the car and just leave me.
You know something, Mr. Kemple? Just what we're planning on.
Then why don't you? I can't stand just waiting like this.
We like it better when it's dark. You know something, Steve? Looks just about dark enough now.
I swear, I won't do anything. I'll wait here as long as you say. I won't even try to telephone.
Yeah, we know that, Mr. Kemple.
Then you going now?
Pretty soon. Think it's dark enough, Steve?
Oh, looks that way to me.
All right, up on your feet, Mr. Kemple.
Just take me back to my car?
Not exactly. Come on now, stand up.
What do I do what Mike says, Mr. Kent? He's got a terrible temper. Look, don't hurt me. Don't you see? You got what you want. Please don't hurt me.
Oh, you must think that we're awful dumb, Mr. Kensel.
Dumb? No, I don't. I think you're smart, both of you.
Hi. You know our names, Mr. Kensel. You know our faces. Sure, we're smart enough to think about that.
I won't tell, I swear. I won't tell anybody.
We know you won't.
Please, if you don't tell me what you're going to do,
All right, turn around. Start walking.
Walking?
Move.
Oh, all right. What do you say?
Slow, Mr. Kensel. Just keep walking. That's right, toward the woods.
Whatever you say. I promise. I'll do whatever you say.
Scared, ain't he?
Yeah. Just keep walking?
Yeah, you're doing fine, Mr. Kensel. Now, see?
I think so, Mike.
Now.
Want me to go look and make sure, Mike?
No need to. Give me a cigarette.
Yeah. Here. We, about ready to go?
Sure.
Funny.
Yeah, what is?
Him promising not to tell. I guess we'll never know if he'd have kept that promise or not.
Never mind talking, Steve. Will you just keep looking out for cops?
But it's time of night way out here on the highway.
Told you, I don't like driving a hot car.
I'm sure won't be looking for it yet.
Yeah, but just the same. As soon as we get someplace, we got to get rid of it. Hey, maybe up ahead. See those lights? Must be Reno.
Reno, Nevada?
Oh, there ain't two of them. Why?
Got a girlfriend in Reno, Nevada. Near there, anyway. Named Marie.
Yeah?
She's some kid, Mike. Man.
Hey, you never used to talk about her back in stir.
Marie ain't the kind you talk about.
No?
Girl like Marie just think to yourself. You know?
But she's okay, huh?
Oh, she is. Got a nice little place of her own, too.
She like visitors?
Always did. Why?
You just gave me an idea, Steve.
Why are we stopping here? Ain't any lights or anything.
This spot's perfect. Nobody can see us from either direction. Now go on, hop out, huh?
It's cold out here. Hey, where's that extra can of gasoline we bought?
In the back. Well, what's the idea, Mike?
Right here. You take the can and start flopping the gas into the car.
Well, we weren't going to burn it till we got someplace.
Look, Steve, you said you'd trust me, didn't you?
Oh, sure.
Well, then go on, will you? Pour that gas around.
Okay. Right there.
Yeah. Inside, too. Up on the seat.
Yeah, I know.
That do it?
Whole can full.
All right, stand back. Now, way back, will you? That pile's really going to burn.
Like an awful big flame, won't it? Before somebody stops.
Let him. Dark night like this, we can be a mile up the road. All set? I'll toss a match.
It's a shame, pretty car like that.
Watch it now. Here she goes.
Let's get out of here.
I'm with you, Steve. Get moving.
Wait.
Reno, didn't I tell you we're going to see your girl? Hey, Marie.
Yeah, I know. Another drink.
You guessed it, honey.
Steve, we better get back here with another bottle pretty soon. We're running out.
What's the matter? What'd I do?
Well, you do all right with the sauce, I'll say that. Here you are.
Thank you. No. Don't go away. Come on. Sit here.
Well, what about Steve?
Well, what about him?
That's right. What about him? Move over.
Glad to see you, Sonny.
Well, I'm always polite to old friends.
Sure. How about new ones?
That depends on whether they're trouble. You know, I think you're trouble, Mike.
Who, me? Why?
Well, the heater, for one thing. I don't like guns.
Oh, it's just in case we meet up with bad men on the road, honey.
Steve says you already have.
Steve talks to me.
He'll be back any minute.
So what?
Well, I'm his friend.
Great. You're mine.
Well, nothing, Steve. I was just fixing your hand to drink.
Some drink? You told me to trust you, Mike.
I'm sorry, kid. Me and Marie were just getting acquainted.
Yeah, that's all, Stevie. You want a drink, too?
Honest, pal. Look, I'm sorry.
Sure, Stevie. Now, don't get mad.
Marie.
Yeah?
Come here, Marie.
Well, like you told Stevie, we were just trying...
The minute I turned my back.
Will you?
Yeah, Steve, there's no sense in beating her up.
I think there's a lot of sense in it.
Steve, wait. We'll hit the road, kid, okay? Okay, Steve?
After I take care of her.
You're crazy or something. Beat him up, why don't you? He's the one scared to get fresh.
I can't. Mike is my friend.
Come on, let's check out, Steve, huh? Okay?
In a minute. Come here, Marie.
No, look, Steve, no. No.
You look like a mess, Marie. Honest, what happened?
You really want to know, Rudy?
Sure. Yeah, on the house.
Gee, thanks. You really want to know?
Not unless you want to talk about it.
I ran into an old friend. That's what I said, an old friend.
Looks more like you ran into a brick wall.
Oh, crummy jerks. If I wanted to, I could fix their wagons, but good.
I knew when you came in you were mad.
Give me another slug, will you, Rudy?
Yeah.
I can fix them real good.
I wouldn't blame you.
Here I was, entertaining two callers, see? An old gentleman friend of mine.
Yeah?
Him and his buddy. Here I was offering them hospitality, you understand?
Like anybody would, you know.
That's right, like anybody would. And you know what happened?
I could see.
Oh, I mean, before that, this friend of my friend, you understand?
I'm with you.
He tries to get fresh.
Yeah?
Listen, I tell the truth. Listen, I say, I am a lady. You understand?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Him and his heater, I could fix them both good.
Heater?
Gun. As a matter of fact.
What are you talking about?
As a matter of actual fact. You got a phone?
Right behind you.
Would you give me a dime, Rudy?
Anything you say, Marie.
Thanks.
Hey, Marie.
Yeah.
Don't do anything dumb now.
Yeah, what's dumb about fixing a couple of heels?
Nothing, I guess. Anyway, they sure fix you.
Oh, where'd they
Pick it
go?
up.
Here it is. Can you beat it? Hospitality I offer him, and look at me. Just, hello, operator? Give me the cops. Cops. Police. What? Sure, it's emergency, a big one. That's right.
Hey, don't mention this joint, Marie, promise?
Well, certainly not. You want him to think I'm a bum? Hello, please? Well, never mind that. I want to tell you something. What? All right, but hurry up. I may change my mind.
Maybe you better hang up, Marie.
Well, what for? Hello? Yeah, that's right. I got a little news for you boys. It's about a gun. Gun? No, I ain't got a gun. These creeps have. Yeah, well, take it easy, will you? I'm coming to that. One of them is Alney. Yeah, that's right, Steve Alney, and his pal is Mike Galena. Well, how should I know how to spell it? Just a second. Hey, Rudy.
This ain't good, Marie.
Would you just light me a cigarette, please? You still there? All right, now listen. I'm going to tell you a lot.
Every Monday night, the Star's address is the exciting address for Mr. and Mrs. Detective in Person, also known as Mr. and Mrs. North. Criminals and killers always lose when that whole family of slick sleuths get on their trail. Don't miss your appointment with action, adventure, and intuition, as Mr. and Mrs. North go into action Monday night on most of these same stations. Back to Gangbusters and Sheriff Bud Young of Washoe County, Nevada.
An anonymous telephone call, Gangbusters listener, sometimes sets off fireworks. Or, in the case of Marie's call to the police, it opens a trail leading to murder. Marie's call was transferred to my office, and while I talked, Under Sheriff Gerald Logan had little difficulty in tracing the call to a local tavern. When Logan and I arrived at the tavern, Marie was still there.
What beats me, I never told you where I was.
Never mind that, miss. Let's hear some more about your friend.
Oh, them.
The ones with the gun.
Excuse me, would you officers care for a drink on the house? No, thanks.
You understand? I got a respectable place here.
Oh, sure. Now, these guys Marie's talking about, they weren't in here. Yeah, we understand.
No, sir, I don't allow hoods hanging around in here.
Relax. We got a nice, respectable tavern.
You sure you won't have a drink on the house?
We'd like to talk to Marie.
Oh, sure. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, Marie, you said these men are Steve Olney and Mike Galena, is that right?
Correct, right on the nose.
Known them long, Marie?
One of them I just met tonight.
Yeah, we can see that you did. You know they both have records, of course.
They have.
Well, that's a big surprise, huh?
Well, it certainly is.
Any idea which way they were headed when they left you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I wasn't looking.
I can try this. Did either of them smell like fire?
I beg your pardon?
As if they'd been near a fire. You know, could you smell smoke on them? Or gasoline, maybe?
Well, I didn't notice.
But you're sure Galena had a gun?
Oh, I'm positive. Creeps, I'm positive.
They may be our boys, Jerry. Want to have Marie take a look at the body? She just might know him.
Maybe.
Body? What body?
A man was shot, Marie. Shot, and so far as we can figure, his car was burnt up, too.
Well, you think my friend, you mean Steve and Mike, could do a thing like that?
I don't know. Looking at you, though, I'd say they might.
Just a minute. Hold it down to a roar, will you? Yeah, you.
Hi, Marie.
You got a nerve.
Shut the door, will you, Marie?
Steve, I don't know if I should let you in or not.
You been on account of last night? I'm sorry about that, Marie.
Sorry, look at me. My eyes are mad.
Well, that's one reason I came back. Apologize.
Who's his friend?
Mike? Oh, me and him split up.
Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah, there's a little heat on around here. We decided it'd be easier to travel alone.
You know, I still ain't said you can come in.
I am in, baby. I apologize, didn't I?
Well...
You know what I said to myself? You know?
No, what?
Marie is a lady, I said. Now, if I apologize like a gentleman, Marie will forget it like a lady. That's just what I said, Marie.
Well, since you put it like that.
Who's that?
Well, if it's your crummy friend, the two of you can just
Can't be Mike. Don't open it, honey.
Probably Essie. Who is it?
Stand back, Marie.
Marie, stop.
Don't move.
Marie, you dirty stinker.
Jerry, what's his gun? All right, you had enough? Put your hands in the air. Drop the gun.
All right. Don't shoot anymore.
Take him, Jerry.
Right. Just keep your hands where they are.
Marie? Marie!
What?
You can come out from under that table now.
I could get my hands on her for just 1 minute.
You won't, so forget it. Now, you're going to tell us where Galena is?
Who's he?
Come on, Steve. Why make it tougher?
Never heard of him.
You will, Steve. I promise you, you will. True to his own twisted code, Gangbusters listeners, Steve Olney refused to give any information leading to Mike Galena. A week went by, and then 2, while the manhunt spread to 15 states. Finally, in my office in Reno, the break came. Come in.
The man at the desk said just to walk in.
That's right. What can we do for you?
Well, my name's Inning. Pete Inning. I'm an orderly in the city hospital.
I think I've seen you around. This is Mr. Logan.
How are you?
What's the trouble, Inning?
I got no trouble, Sheriff. It's about that picture in the paper a week or so ago. A man named Galena.
What about it?
Well, it's a funny thing. I make a hobby of looking at pictures of guys, you know, in the post office and the papers, like this one you're looking for.
You go on, Innie.
Well, this is going to sound crazy, but I swear I just took him out of our ambulance.
What?
The driver said he picked him up at that rooming house out on Woodlawn. Someone called and said their janitor was sick, so he went out to get him.
And you think the janitor is Galena?
Yeah, I think so. I'll tell you something else kind of funny, too.
Go right ahead.
The docs at the hospital said that he made himself sick.
He what?
He swallowed a lot of stuff to get sick. You know, on purpose.
What do you think, Jerry?
Well, we've followed up a lot of cockeyed leads, Bud. No reason to let this one go by.
I told you, didn't I, Sheriff? You heard the doc say he's taken. They're just keeping him here for you.
Is this his room, Innie?
Yeah, this is it. 301. The nurse is down at the end of the hall if you want her.
No, we'll see him alone. All set, Bud?
Check. You stay out here, Ernie.
Yes, sir.
Looks like our patient is asleep.
Yeah, looks real sick, too, doesn't he?
Yeah. Galena.
What do you know? He can move.
You got company, Galena. Police.
Go away. I'm sick.
We got news for you, Galena. You want to hear it?
No, I'm sick. Will you go away?
I think he wants to hear it, Bud, right now.
Hey, let's go.
In the street, Galena, now. Fast.
What's the big guy? I'm a sick man.
I'll give you the idea, Galena, and fast. We've had Steve on ice for 2 weeks.
Huh?
He sang his head off.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to ring for the doc.
You stand still and listen.
Oh.
Roger Kensel, you took him in the woods, took his dough, and then shot him in the back. That sounds like the story.
We got it all, Galena. The gun, where you stopped to buy the can of gas, the work.
Even Marie.
Will you have a hard look? I'm sick, I tell you.
I got news for you, Galena.
Yeah?
You're a lot sicker than you think.
I am?
You are. And you know something else? You aren't ever going to get well. On March 20th, Gangbusters listeners, both Steve Olney and Mike Galena were found guilty of the murder of Roger Kensel. Sentenced by the Washoe County Court, both men were removed to the Nevada State Prison and were executed.
Thank you, Sheriff C.W. Bud Young of Washoe County, Nevada. And now, Gangbusters Nationwide Clues, broadcast every week to assist American police in their war against the underworld. Attention all citizens. Maintain vigilance for Clarence Dye, one of the 10 most wanted men in the country, being sought by the FBI for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution for armed robbery. His official description.
Clarence Dye, alias Jock, age 43, 5 feet 10, 140 pounds, medium build, brown hair, blue eyes, fair complexion, may seek work as welder or cook. This man has scars over his left eyebrow, a blue scar over right eyebrow, and a tattoo of initials CD on right forearm.
Caution, Dye is probably armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. He reportedly has stated that he will not be taken into custody alive and will attempt to kill any officer arresting him. Attention all citizens. Watch for Everett Bruce Carroll, wanted by the FBI for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution for the crime of burglary. Listen carefully to his official description.
Age 52, 6 feet 3 inches, 175 to 210 pounds, slender build, brown hair, graying, blue eyes, medium complexion, both hands and arms badly scarred as a result of burns. Repeating, hands and arms badly scarred from burns. May seek work as a bulldozer operator.
Caution, Carroll may be armed and should be considered dangerous. Attention all citizens, be alert for this man, McKinley Norfleet, wanted by the FBI for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution for the crime of murder. His official description.
McKinley Norfleet, alias Mac, age 55, Negro, 5 feet 11, 165 pounds, slender build, black hair, brown eyes, dark complexion, may seek work as a laborer. This fugitive has a scar on the back of his head and gold front teeth. He reportedly appears to be grinning at all times.
Caution, Norfleet may be armed. Watch for him. If you have any information concerning these clues, notify your local police, the nearest office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or Gangbusters at once. Tonight's Gangbusters case was written by Robert J. Shaw and directed by Leonard L. Bass, with Tom Holland and Eileen Palmer in leading roles. This production was supervised for CBS Radio by Jerry Danzig. Gaylord Avery speaking. In The Case of the Hong Kong Casanova on Gangbusters, a production of CBS Radio in cooperation with Phillips H. Lord. America's king of the scene cowboys, Gene Autry, rides every Sunday on CBS Radio. You're cordially invited to ride with him to new adventures and to pause at Melody Ranch just long enough for some sagebrush songs that somehow don't ever get in the way of the riding and the shooting. It's a half hour of fine Western entertainment, CBS Radio's Gene Autry Show, tomorrow night on most of these same stations. Stay tuned now for Gunsmoke, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. Listen while you work, every weekday, too, to the CBS Radio.
Proudly we hail. From New York City, where the American stage begins, here is another program with a cast of outstanding players. Public service time has been made available by this station for your Army and your Air Force to bring you this story, as proudly we hail the Queen of Battle, the United States Infantry. Our story is entitled Four of a Kind. This is the story of a patrol action in the darkness of Korea, the story of four brave men. Our first act curtain will rise in just a moment, but first, young men, when you volunteer for service in the United States Army today, you can rest assured that your best talents and natural skills will be considered in giving you an assignment to your liking. Yes, today's modern Army fits the right men to the right jobs, and real merit is recognized with faster promotions and more opportunities. Now, more than ever before, men with above-average ability are finding better jobs and more important assignments in the U.S. Army. Why not investigate an Army enlistment for yourself today and find out just what you stand to gain? Full information is available at your nearest U.S. Army and U.S. Air Force recruiting stations. And now your Army and your Air Force present the proudly we hail production, Four of a Kind. His name is Edgar Allan Standish. His dad is a professor of American literature at an Eastern university, and he named his first son after one of America's greatest writers, Edgar Allan Poe. Of course, when the youngster was born 23 years ago, Professor Standish had no way of knowing the boy would grow up to be a writer, but he took no chances and named him Edgar Allan anyway. So far, Edgar Allan Standish has matched his illustrious namesake in one respect. Like Poe, he became a sergeant in the Army. And maybe one day, like Poe, he'll become a famous writer. But all that will have to wait. Because, unfortunately for our civilization, through no fault of ours, right now the sword is mightier than the pen in a fateful peninsula called Korea.
What are we getting from the line, Kennedy?
Nothing, sir. Shall I check again?
No, if there was anything doing, we'd be able to hear it. Get Fox and Easy, anyhow.
Yes, sir. Will you talk, Major?
Only if Captain Gould or Lieutenant Gray have something to talk about.
Uncle Dudley calling Fox 1. Fox 1, what's cooking? Weather look clear? Right. Over.
Nothing, Kennedy?
Nothing, sir. Uncle Dudley calling Easy One. Easy One? Right, Easy One. Over. Well, that's how we stand, Major. Gray says it's like a rainy Sunday night down on the farm. No artillery, no mortars, no small arms fire, no red patrols, no nothing.
Now I'm worried. The Reds are bad enough when they're up to something. But they stay in their own backyard 3 days straight. Look out.
Question is, sir, what are they up to? They're not relieving. They're not reinforcing. All that makes noise. And nobody's heard a peep out of them in 3 days.
Well, they tried to take us by assault last week, and they got properly clobbered.
And we're dug in too strong, sir.
And yet they have to try to do something about us. We're like a sore thumb sticking into that position.
Well, sir, maybe they figure if they ignore us, we'll just go away.
George Company is in reserve. The men are pretty well rested. Get 4 or 5 of your best and send them out on a patrol.
Yes, sir. Uncle Dudley calling George 1. George 1, the honeymoon's over.
Well, I don't know about you. I got 4 deuces.
Naturally. I got a full house anyway.
I'm not interested in any of your long, sad stories. They'll win the pot.
Well, Jacob, better luck next time.
4 of a kind. The guy lives right. Why shouldn't he live right, huh? When he's home, what does he do all day? Feeds chickens and milks the cows.
Yeah.
How can you get into trouble?
Your deal, city boy. Uh-oh, look who's here. If ever I saw bad news written on a man's face.
All right, Mercury, speak.
His name ain't Mercury.
Mercury was the messenger of the gods.
Hi, Sarge.
The old man want me, Troop?
Yeah.
What does it sound like?
Hey, patrol. We're supposed to be in reserve. Can you imagine what a fine, respectable war this would be if there weren't any patrols?
Still you out, Sarge, huh?
Yeah, I think you'd better, Jacob. After all, the old man wants me. How did it look if I told him I was too busy playing cards? Come on, let's go, Troop.
Hey, tell me something, city boy. Do you got a list of stupid questions that just come into your head like?
Troop says it smells like a patrol.
City boy, you know I got you beat again. I got aces. Start complaining.
Quiet. Patrol, huh? Well, just let me get rid of all my bad luck right now.
That's how it is, Standish.
Has been quiet these past few days, sir.
Well, the outpost doesn't hear anything. Air observation doesn't see anything. I agree with the old man. When they're quiet, start to sweat.
How many men you want me to take, sir?
3 yourself ought to do it. Now, I don't have to tell you how to behave in a deal like this. You've been in on enough of them. Matter of fact, maybe you'll want more than 3 men.
No, sir. 4 of us in all should be enough. We'll try for a prisoner, and that'll take time because just any prisoner won't do.
That's right. It's those jokers you don't know. You might grab yourself a red-hot commissar.
Oh, we'll try to stay in there as long as we safely can, sir. Just keep our ears and eyes open.
Okay. Now, anything you want to know?
Well, our company's been out of the line a week, sir. I'd like another look at the latest map.
Good. Here you are. Now, we've got the high ground still, and our fire commands our left flank.
We've really got ourselves a position here, sir. How can they afford to let us keep it?
How can they afford to take it? They tried last week, remember? But they have to do something bold, unorthodox.
Haven't we been up against that division before, sir?
I think it's the best outfit they've got. You can expect them to try anything, and they will, too.
Well, sir, there's no moon tonight. So the sooner I get started, the more darkness I'll have.
Okay, Sergeant Standish. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Coffee before you go? Troop has a pot boiling.
No, thank you, sir. I got 3 boys back in the hut. The suspense must be killing him.
Okay.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye.
Goodbye, Sarge.
So long, Mercury.
Why does he call you Mercury?
Beats me, sir. That Standish, he sure has some flowery ways of talking sometimes.
Yes,
don't he?
He does. Doesn't stop him from being the best sergeant in this man's army.
Yeah, but what do we have to know? We know the Reds are out there. So what are we going to find out? No kidding, Sergeant Standish. Is this trip necessary?
You know, men, the trouble with us is we aren't in the movies. You see, in the movies, if you want to know what the enemy's up to, there are any number of things you can do. The favorite one is to get a beautiful girl to sing in a cafe where the enemy generals hang out. Well, out here, we happen to be a little short of beautiful girls. So we send out a patrol. Next question.
Yeah, but if it's so quiet, why do we have to go out there and spoil everything, huh?
City boy, you know, for the first time in your long and wasted life, you spoke a word of common sense. How soon we taking off, Sarge?
Well, the minute I get the word that the line's been alerted, a patrol's going out. Now get rid of your letters from home, your wallets. The only identification on anyone is his dog tag. Now, why do I tell you this? It isn't as though we haven't gone out on a few of these before.
You know, I remember the first time I went out on a patrol.
Oh, brother. Here we go again.
Hey, Sarge. The word is out.
Okay, thanks, Mercury.
Hey, Mercury, lend me your 45, huh?
Oh, listen to him. You think you're going to do some fighting?
Come on, lend it to him, will you?
Okay. Did I say no? Make sure you bring it back.
I assure you, he'll be only too happy to bring it back.
I'm telling you now, Pete. If you fire it, you're going to have to clean it.
Well, gentlemen, shall we fare forth?
Hey, Pete. No kidding. Bring back my 45, will you?
Hey, Jacob. Let's wait for Doc and Pete to come up.
I hope they could see me.
No, don't worry about those two.
Oh, yeah. They're coming. Where are we, Sarge?
I don't know. Can you make out the woods just ahead?
Yeah, I'd say it's about 30 yards.
Well, some of them are dug in there.
It's too quiet. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Now you can appreciate what's bothering the old man.
Figure they might have withdrawn. Not those babies.
You know, we'll have to keep on our bellies. Same position. I'll be in front, Jacob's on my left, Pete on the right, Doc. You in the rear.
Hey, listen.
What?
I could have sworn I heard the bolt click.
All right. Keep low. Those tracers are way over our heads.
Is he speculating or did he hear us?
We'll soon find out.
Sarge, I'm in a kind of furrow. No, it's a dried-up creek bed.
Okay, that's good cover. Let's get into it. Pete, Jacobs, move back toward Doc.
Yeah. I wonder where this thing leads.
Seems to be curving toward their line.
Hey, them reds sure smell something.
We must have been spotted.
This patrol might be at an end right now. We'd better try for the prisoner. No sense coming back empty-handed.
How can we go in for a prisoner? They're looking for us.
We won't go in. We'll make one of them come out.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Wait till he fires again. Then, Jacobs, you put on an act. Let out a howl. Play it big.
My wife always said I should have been an actor.
How right that girl is.
Make sure the whole world hears you, Jacob.
You just cover your ears, men. Well, what's the matter with that clown? Why doesn't he shoot? Hey, meathead, what'd you do, break the firing pin? Well, come on, you're not doing right by your buddy Mollenkopf.
All right, that's enough. You're overdoing it.
What's going to happen now?
Now a volunteer is going to come out. Either to bring you in or finish you off. Let's get set to jumping. I think that was for good measure. Anyone coming, Pete?
Oh, can't see a thing.
Hey, how'd I do?
Oh, your performance was perfect. But I'm afraid the audience didn't show up.
Sarge, up ahead. That guy coming toward us. Hey, easy, that's my public.
All right, let's get set to give him an autograph.
Hey, he's got a long knife in his hand.
Uh-oh, he's walking in the wrong direction. Give him a cue, Jacob.
Oh!
Yeah, that's better.
Here he comes. He holds that knife like he knows the score.
Get set to jumping. Follow my lead. Now.
All right, friend.
Maybe you can't understand what I'm saying, but you can understand this. Get moving. Keep low. Push him down back.
Yep.
What the? Get in. All right, down into the creek bed.
Sarge, I'm sorry. I don't know how he did it, but all of a sudden he just twisted away from me.
Are you all right, Doc?
Yeah, I think so. Gee, I gave such a good performance, too, huh?
Yeah, it's too bad, but we're all to blame. We were too overconfident. We low-rated him.
What do we do now, Sarge?
Hey, look. They're sending up flares.
That's all right. If we keep low, they won't be able to see us.
We can't jump out of here and go back now with those flares. They'll see us plain as day.
You know, it's a good thing you stumbled into this creek bed, Doc. Let's move forward.
Forward?
Why not? They probably figure we're out hiding behind bushes trying to make our way back home. It don't make sense for us to try to penetrate their lines now.
That's right, it don't.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to do it. Come on. Follow me.
You are listening to the Proudly We Hail production, Four of a Kind. We'll return in just a moment for the second act. Young man, if you're interested in continuing your education, here is important news for you. The senior service of our armed forces, the United States Army, urgently needs qualified technicians to operate and maintain the many kinds of equipment that science has brought into being. Right now, men are being trained in such varied fields as radio, radar, meteorology, mechanics, electronics, photography, and many, many others. This training is given by the finest technical training schools in the world. It's an excellent opportunity for young men with intelligence and ambition. It can be the start of a great career for you. For full details, visit your nearest United States Army and United States Air Force recruiting station. Do it today. You are listening to Proudly We Hail. And now we present the second act of Four of a Kind. A dark night in Korea. 4 men on an important patrol action close to enemy lines.
Yeah, they're still at it.
Dark again, Sarge.
I don't think they'll send up any more flares.
They gotta be right against their lines, Sarge. That shooting's real close.
Yeah, there's a foxhole just off to our right. 1 or 2 of them firing a rifle.
I think I hear something.
You here speak Chinese?
There's only one way to figure, Sarge. Sounded to me like some guys got into the hole and some guys got out and walked away.
Yeah, that's right. Probably relieving. That means that the 2 men who are in there now are supposed to stay there for a while.
You want to try to grab one of them and bring them back?
You know, I may be wrong, but that foxhole seems to be on higher ground than the rest of the terrain around it. And maybe if we could neutralize the 2 men in it, we could see something from the top.
I think they got an entrance from the rear. The guys who came in sounded like they came in through the back.
Yeah, this is going to be the hard part. We'll have to crawl past the front of it to get around to the rear. No sense in all 4 of us trying to get past. All right, I'll go. And Jacobs, you're the smallest. Come with me. Right now, Jacobs, they just got there. Their eyes aren't used to the dark yet.
Okay.
Here's where it's tough. That creek bed rises to ground level. Right now, we're in the clear.
All right, don't move, Jacobs.
Okay, come on. I think we're in back of them now.
It's over here, Sarge. The entrance to the foxhole.
No, this is no good. You have to crawl there. There's only room for one of us at a time. They'd be bound to hear us.
Yeah, of course. Hey, we could roll a couple of grenades in there and that'll be the ball game.
Mm-hmm. But that's not what we want to do.
Hey, someone's coming. Can he see us?
Well, we can't afford to move. Just hug the ground and take a chance.
What is that all about?
I don't know. These 2 just get here, and this other fella comes and fetches them to go somewhere else. Meanwhile, there's no one in the hole.
Maybe they're all pulling out.
No, not these babies. They're up to something, all right. You go around and get Doc and Pete. I don't know what to make of this. They're pulling out the men from all these foxholes, and yet the men are leaving their equipment in the hole, so they're not pulling out.
Anybody on guard around here, Sarge?
Yeah, there's 1 man in a hole about 50 feet to our right. You can't see it, but I know he's there.
Where are all these other jokers going?
Looks to me as though they pulled out almost everybody for some reason.
You think maybe they're ganging up for a sneak attack?
No. I mean, it doesn't have the feel of an attack. Those fellas look to me as though they were being assigned to a detail of some kind.
Oh, come on. Frontline troops pulling the detail?
What's the matter? You never heard of it?
Uh-oh.
Hold him out. Let him down easy.
Where did he come from?
Beats me. I was just happening to be looking off to my left when somebody stepped from behind a tree.
Well, good work, Doc. I don't think this one will get away.
Sarge, he looks like an officer to me.
Wait, no. He's not an officer. I don't even think he's in their army.
Yeah, in the army. What's he doing here?
He's wearing army-type clothes. He must be some kind of civilian specialist. See what's in that pouch on his belt.
Yeah. Looks like a map case.
Well, it's too dark to try to see what it's all about. Okay, let me have it.
What do we do about Buster here, Sarge?
He ought to be out for quite a while. Let's leave him for the time being.
Where to now?
I don't know what's up ahead. There must be a whole gang of them around here somewhere.
Oh, man. Could I go for a cigarette?
Yeah, that's an idea. Light one.
Here?
No, never mind. I'll do it. Who's got a match?
Sorry, you got it.
No, just watch what happens.
I could live to be 150. I'll never understand that guy.
Okay. That's all I want to know. See, they figured one of their men got careless and lit a cigarette. Now we know where they are.
Straight ahead. Hey, Sarge. You know we can push our luck just a little bit too far?
We're not pushing our luck, Doc. It's pushing us. No noise now. I don't care if it takes an hour to travel 10 yards. Be careful.
Sarge, you see anything? Sounds like they're digging in. What's that rolling sound?
Wheelbarrows.
Wheelbarrows?
You know, this must be where everyone from the line went.
Must be digging new strong points.
I don't think so. They're doing something underground. You see those fellas with the wheelbarrows? They're disappearing into that pit. That big guy with a cloth around his head, he's going into the pit. I want to watch for him to come out.
Hey, maybe they discovered gold. Sure, and they're calling a war while they dig for it.
Now, I got an idea. It sounds crazy, but I can hardly wait to see what's in this pouch we took from that civilian.
They didn't see your boy come out of that pit yet, Sox. Yes, here he comes now. The barrel's full of dirt. Well, looks like a big shot showed up. A general at least. How would you like to bring him back? Got lucky we ain't. What are they doing here anyhow? This is how it looked in New York when they were building the subway. Besides, is that a tunnel? Are they digging a tunnel toward our lines? Hey, that sounds like a civilian. How did he come to so fast? He must have a head like a rock.
Gentlemen, I believe we've overstayed our welcome. There's no place like home. Listen, don't head directly for the line. Move along parallel to it. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
If they got to the same place we entered, there's no one there. Now, they're just shooting on General Punch.
Hey, I thought there was nobody supposed to be here, Sarge.
All right, we got him first.
At the foxhole where we came in, Sarge.
On the back of it, let's try to find that creek bed.
Yeah.
We'll need the cover. Hurry, they'll have those flares up again any second.
This way, Sarge. All right, hit the ground.
Man, that was close.
There go the flares.
Mortars! We're covered for gunfire, but those mortars can find us.
Let's get a move on, Sarge.
No, stay here. Those mortars are searching up ahead. They figure we're heading home. Let's stay here. They won't drop any shells this close to their own line.
God, you know, a guy can get killed out here.
Yeah, I know. Won't be light for 4 hours yet. All we can do is wait.
Well, Ken, I like our little war.
I hope none of our guys got hit by all that shooting.
The patrol out there carried the fireworks for them.
Do I know the fellas?
No. Squadron G Company.
Do you suppose any of them were hit?
Yeah. Way overdue.
Patrol. You know, I've only been here one day, and, well, this isn't so bad. I mean, we've got good positions here. But you mean, guys just sneak out and try to get through the red lines?
Exactly.
Will we go on patrols, too?
Yeah, there's no point thinking about that now. Anyway, you get used to it.
Say, do you suppose those guys from G Company are okay? Ferris, straight ahead. I hear something. Should I swing the gun around? Should I start shooting? What do we do?
Just take it easy, kid. Just take it easy. Now, pull up forward, Baxter. She's ready to fire. Come on. Keep your hand off the trigger.
Now, what do we do?
Just wait.
Something's coming. Should we...
We give the password. They give the countersign. If they don't, then open up. Go ahead now, give the password.
Okay.
Halt. Roller coaster.
Coney Island.
Now, it's Standish from G Company. Hey, come on, get in. Well, you've boys are out late.
Yeah, we stopped in for a couple of beers.
Ah. The old man's been threatening me out. They've been checking the line regular. And what are the Reds doing out there?
Plenty.
This civilian was evidently an engineer, Major.
There's no doubt about it. So that's what they've been doing. This map doesn't show much. Your man was probably in a subordinate position in charge of a very small section. But it looked to you, Sergeant, as though they were tunneling, eh?
Yes, sir. It's a major project. I'd say every available man is working away with a shovel and a wheelbarrow.
Say, you think they have an idea to mine our position from underneath, Major?
Well, it's a good World War I tactic. And we seem to be fighting the same kind of war position. Well, as long as we're prepared for them. I'll get all this information back to the regiment. They'll set up countermeasures. Good work, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Let's be on our way, Kennedy.
You and your squad had better spend the rest of the night here, Sandy. Troop, see if you can get up a little chow and some more coffee.
Yes.
Well, make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to turn in.
Yeah. The old man couldn't sleep a wink while you were gone. He's a warrior, the old man is.
Hey, come on. Who's got the cards?
Boy, you sure can take it, city boy.
Listen, you, my luck has got it time. Hey, where's my .45 caliber pistol?
Yeah, Mercury.
Hey, you fired it.
All right, give it back. I'll clean it.
Yeah, fat chance I'll ever see it again. I'll clean it myself.
Some people are never satisfied.
You want more coffee, Sergeant Standish?
Yeah, thanks, Mercury.
Hey, Sarge, how was it?
How was it? We went out, we went in, there was a big fuss, we came back.
Oh, hey, there must have been more than that. You're supposed to be a writer, Sarge. Come on, you can describe it better than that.
All right, listen to me. The russet mantle of night covered the ravaged earth like an ominous shroud.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Uh-huh. Steel-helmeted, rifles at the ready, noiseless as shadows, and only silent rocks to know they were drifting by.
Two pairs.
3-8. Pay me. Hey, Sarge, I beat him. Shut up. Now, go ahead, Sarge.
For the American patrol. 4 of the infantry's best set out for a little unfriendly game of poker with the enemy. Only this wasn't penny ante stuff. And if they hit the jackpot every time, it's no accident. Because Mr. 4 of our kind will always take nearly everything in the deck.
It shall not happen here. That is the unspoken prayer of every man in the United States Army. That is the unspoken reason for our growing military might. But the time has come to speak. The time has come to tell of that small phrase, those 5 words, it shall not happen here. Let us speak only to those young men of America who have not taken pause to think. Let's shout it in a voice that will reach into every city and village, across the length and breadth of this great land. Young man, you are needed. You are needed to help preserve the peace. You are needed to serve in your United States Army, to ensure for your loved ones that it shall not happen here. You are urged to visit your local United States Army and United States Air Force recruiting station at your earliest opportunity and ask about the technical careers of the United States Army. The need is urgent. This has been another program on Proudly We Hail, presented transcribed in cooperation with this station. Proudly We Hail is produced by the Recruiting Publicity Center for the United States Army and United States Air Force Recruiting Service. This is Kenneth Steinhardt speaking and inviting you to tune in this same station next week for another interesting story on Proudly we hail.
From New York, the makers of Clippercraft clothes for men and 924 leading retail stores from coast to coast present the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character of Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes is portrayed by John Stanley, Dr. Watson by Alfred Shirley, and the dramatizations are by Edith Meiser. Winter's certainly here, Dr. Watson. There are snowdrifts 3 to 4 feet high piled outside your door.
Let me take your galoshes, Mr. Harris, while you warm your feet by the fire.
Boy, this feels good. I think I'll just dig in here for the winter, Doctor.
Well, why don't you?
And hear a Sherlock Holmes adventure every evening. Say, come to think of it, that would have the good old Arabian Nights beat all hollow.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. A very neat compliment indeed.
Well, Dr. Watson, which of your many Sherlock Holmes adventures have you decided to tell us this evening?
Well, to tell the truth, I was in a quandary as to where to begin until I received a communication by this afternoon's post. Oh, here it is.
Thank you. Wedding announcement. Gloria Waverly Pembroke to Juan Fernando Ferguson. See, that's a strange combination of names. Juan Fernando Ferguson, Doctor?
Yes, Juan Fernando Ferguson was the victim in the case of the Sussex Vampire, although he was hardly a year old at the time.
The case of the Sussex Vampire. That sounds promising. Just what is a vampire, Dr. Watson?
That's the exact same question that Holmes put to me at the beginning of this case. But before we go into the subject, suppose you say a few well-chosen words on another subject. A subject we're very pleased to hear about on this program.
I thank you, Dr. Watson. A few words that give you the whole story in a nutshell are these. Clippercraft clothes are the best values in suits, top coats, and overcoats you've ever seen. Now, you have every right to say to me, how do you explain that, Mr. Harris? Tell us what makes it so. Well, explaining Clippercraft's great values is simple as ABC. They're planned values. They take advantage of all the ingenuity their makers can bring to bear. The Clippercraft plan concentrates the buying power of 924 leading stores across the nation, making tremendous savings in manufacturing and distribution costs. You get the savings this brilliant plan makes possible. What's more, you get them at your own local independent store, at the store you can trust. Until you see them, you wouldn't believe such beautifully tailored suits were possible at only $40 and $45. Such handsome top coats and overcoats at only $40. Clippercraft values are so downright remarkable. We urge you to compare them with clothes selling for many dollars more. And now, Dr. Watson, to return to the case of the Sussex Vampire.
It was a blustery afternoon, Mr. Harris. Early in November in the year, let me see, somewhere early in the 1900s. Well, at any rate, I had returned to our rooms in Baker Street to find Holmes standing before the huge reference books he had compiled for himself, the volume V in his hands and a critical look on his face.
Ah, there you are, Watson. You look a trifle windblown.
Well, it doesn't take any brilliant deduction on your part to ascertain that fact, my dear Holmes. What a gale. It fairly tears the coat off your back. I had to chase my hat almost the entire length of Kensington Gardens. Oh, I'm completely exhausted.
Oh, nonsense. A little strenuous exercise is good for you.
Oh, yes, then why don't you indulge in it more frequently?
I don't need to. My waistline isn't becoming unmanageable.
Well, there's nothing matter with my waistline. A bit more substantial than yours, perhaps, but it's...
Watson, stop your spluttering. I haven't time to listen. We've something more serious on hand.
Oh, I say, a new case?
I haven't decided. Watson, in your own invaluable opinion, just what is a vampire?
Oh, I thought you didn't have time for any tittle-tattle.
I haven't. My question's entirely serious.
A vampire? Oh, well, a vampire's supposed to be a sort of walking corpse that lives by sucking human blood and can only be held in its grave by a stake driven through its heart. It's a purely legendary figure like werewolves and sea serpents.
Exactly. A childish bugaboo. Pure rubbish.
Yes, just the result of a lot of ignorant peasants frightening each other. Their imaginations run away with them. Hocus-pocus like that could never become current in England.
No? Superstition's a difficult thing to stamp out. Read this letter.
Oh, what is it? The hysterical ravings of some neurotic female?
On the contrary, it's a business letter from Morrison, Morrison & Dodd, one of the oldest and most reputable law firms in the city. Read it.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, in Re Vampires. Sir, our client, Mr. Robert Ferguson, of Ferguson and Muirhead, tea brokers of Mincing Lane, has made some inquiry from us concerning vampires. As our firm specializes upon the assessment of machinery, the matter hardly comes within our purview, and we have therefore recommended Mr. Ferguson to lay the matter before you.
The question now is, does it come within our purview either?
Well, we seem to have been switched into Grimm's fairy tale. We may as well expect a witch on a broomstick to come flying down the chimney.
Oh, well, anything's better than stagnation, eh, Watson? Besides, stamping out superstition's one of my hobbies. Now what? Come in. Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Hudson.
A letter for you, sir. Came by the light post.
From Mr. Robert Ferguson, Cheesemans, Lamberley. Thank you, Mrs. Hudson, thank you.
Don't mention it, sir.
Oh, this Mr. Ferguson, he doesn't seem to have lost any time in getting in touch with you, Holmes.
No, the matter must be fairly urgent. Cheesemans, Lamberley. Where is Lamberley, Watson?
In Sussex, south of Horsham.
Read the letter, there's a good fellow.
Oh, really, Holmes? You're becoming more indolent every day.
Rubbish. Just because I sit here relaxed with my eyes closed doesn't mean I'm not mentally alert. But get on with the letter, get on with it.
Well, wait a minute, can't you? Wait till I get it out of the envelope. There we are. My dear Mr. Holmes, I have been recommended to you by my lawyers, but the matter is so delicate I hardly know how to explain it to you. Some 5 years ago, I married a South American lady, the daughter of a Peruvian merchant. She's a very beautiful and most loving wife, but I cannot help feeling that there are sides of her character which I can never explore or understand. A few months ago, she began to show some curious traits quite alien to her ordinarily sweet and gentle disposition. This is my second marriage. I have one son by my first wife, charming and affectionate, but a cripple. Twice my wife was caught in the act of assaulting this poor lad in the most brutal and unprovoked way. That was a small matter, however, compared with her conduct to her own child, a beautiful boy just under 1 year of age. The story, if true, is almost too horrible to mention. One afternoon last week, I heard my older boy screaming upstairs. Almost immediately, the baby's nurse burst into the room and begged me to follow her as my wife was in one of her spells.
Let me go! Let me go! You're hurting me! Oh,
Mr. Ferguson, sir, come quick. It's your wife. She's took bad again.
What?
She's beating the boy. Oh, hurry, sir. She'll kill him.
Good heavens, this is dreadful. Come along, nurse.
You're twisting my arm. Oh, stop hitting me. Stop.
I'm coming, Jackie. I'm coming. Tina, let the boy go. I say let the boy go.
Father, look. Father, she hit me. Look there.
Why, you've raised a great wealth on his arm. This is too much, Tina. Are you going crazy?
I hate him, you little beast.
After all, Tina, he is my son and a cripple. How can you be so inhuman?
It is because I love you. Don't you understand? I would sacrifice myself rather than break your heart. You must believe me. You must trust me.
Yes, but what do you want me to believe?
I cannot tell, but you must trust me.
After all, actions speak louder than words. How can I believe you love me when I see you torturing my son?
I hate him. Take him away. I will kill him next time.
Stop it. You're delirious. That's it. You're delirious. Don't you think so, nurse?
It's worse than that, sir. She's possessed of the devil. She and Dolores, that blackguard maid of hers. Dolores practices strange rites up in her room. She's a voodoo, I tell you.
Oh, nonsense. This is going too far. Has the whole house turned into bedlam? Really, nurse, Dolores is from Latin America. Just because she does things you don't understand doesn't make her a witch. It's all quite easily explained.
There's something going on in this house you can't explain so easy, no matter how you try.
What do you mean?
What I saw in the nursery this afternoon, just before she started into beating Jackie.
Oh, don't tell. You promised not to. Oh, for the love of heaven, don't tell.
Tina, be quiet. What did you find, nurse?
I was out in the back hall, warming the baby's bottle, when all of a sudden I heard a loud cry, like he was in pain. I ran in to find out what the matter was. And there she was, leaning over the baby. I screamed. She looked up, and there was blood on her face. She's a vampire, that's what she is, a vampire.
Thoroughly unsavory, Watson. Go on with the letter.
Ever since then, the nurse has guarded the child day and night. And day and night, the silent, watchful mother seems to be lying in wait as a wolf for a lamb. For the rest, she confines herself to her own room and will see none of us. I know this will all sound most fantastic to you, Mr. Holmes. Vampirism in the heart of Sussex. And yet I beg of you to take it seriously. If you would only come down and investigate the matter, a child's life and a man's sanity may depend upon it. Yours faithfully, Robert Ferguson.
Well, Watson, what do you make of it?
Well, it all sounds like a nightmare to me. Maybe the man himself is demented.
Possibly, Watson. Possibly. Suppose we visit Lamberley tomorrow afternoon to see if we can get to the bottom of this strange case. I've always wanted to meet a vampire. Yes, that must be our client, Mr. Ferguson, waiting at the other end of the platform.
You mean the long, slab-sided man with loose limbs and a splendid back? He looks prematurely aged.
An experience like this would add years to any man's looks. Mr. Robert Ferguson, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. I received your telegram. I can't begin to express my gratitude.
Quite, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Oh, how do you do, sir?
I believe we've met before, Dr. Watson.
Oh, really?
Aren't you the same Watson who played Brumley for Blackheath while I was three-quarter for Richmond?
Bobby Ferguson, why, of course.
Yes.
I'm delighted to see you again, old fellow. I'll never forget the day you threw me over the ropes into the crowd at Old Deer Park.
Yes. Time has changed us both. Whoever would have thought we would meet again under such tragic circumstances. But come, the carriage is waiting over here.
So, Watson, you played rugby, eh?
No, indeed he did, and a splendid athlete he was, too.
Fancy that. Full of surprises, Watson. There are unexplored possibilities about you.
Oh, now you're pulling my leg home.
Here's the carriage. Will you get in first, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you.
Now, Watson.
Righto.
That's right. And tuck this rug in around your knees, will you? The wind is getting rather brisk. Looks as though we'd have a storm before night. All right, Wilson. Let's get along.
Now then, Mr. Ferguson, if you don't object to a few personal questions...
No, anything. What can I do? I can't go to the police with such a story, and yet I must protect the children. Is it madness? Is it something in the blood? Have you ever had a similar case? Oh, for the love of heaven, give me some advice. I'm at my wit's end.
Gently, Mr. Ferguson, gently. Now, just pull yourself together and give me a few clear answers. I can assure you that I am very far from being at my wit's end. First of all, have you spoken to your wife since the discovery?
No, Mr. Holmes. She refuses to see me. Her maid, Dolores, who's been with her since she was a child, is the only person she will see.
I gather that you did not know your wife well at the time of your marriage.
Only a few weeks.
Then your wife's character would be better known to her maid than to you.
I suppose so.
This unhappy lady has appeared to assault both the children, her own baby and your son?
Yes. She attacked Jackie again just day before yesterday.
But the assaults take different forms, do they not? She has beaten your own son.
Once with a stick and once very savagely with her hands.
Is the lady jealous by nature?
Well, she is a Latin American. She has a fiery, tropical nature.
Quite. But the crippled boy, he's 15, I understand, and probably very bright mentally since his body isn't as active as other boys. Did he give any explanation of these assaults?
No, he declared there was no reason.
Were they good friends at other times?
No. No, there was never any love between them.
Yet you claim he's affectionate.
Well, I've never seen a more devoted son. He's absorbed in everything I say or do.
Most interesting. Were the attacks on the baby and your son at the same period?
In the first case, yes. It was as if she were seized by some frenzy and had vented her rage on both. In the second, it was only Jackie who suffered. Possibly because nurse kept a strict watch over the baby.
I see.
But here we are, Mr. Holmes. Cheesemans. The old houses in this part of the country are still named after their original builders.
Yes, I see a rebus of a cheese and a man on the ancient tiles that line the porch. The middle section of your house is very old, Mr. Ferguson.
Yes, the wings are newer.
Very interesting building with its towering Tudor chimneys and its lichen-spotted roofs.
If you will come in, sir, I can offer you some refreshment.
That will be most welcome. My bones are chilled. Wind's rising. That storm can't be far off. Look at those clouds.
Well, reminds one of the right-about carriers, eh, Ferguson?
Oh, come in, Watson. Come in and shut the door.
All right, all right.
That's better.
Now, if you'll just... Oh, Dolores.
Si, senor.
Dolores, bring some sandwiches, will you? And have the windows shuttered. It looks as though we're in for a storm.
Si, senor. I shut them after I order sandwiches.
That is your wife's maid, I take it.
Yes.
Handsome girl, but a bit primitive, eh? I see your iron fire screen is dated 1670.
Oh, yes. We've got a great mixture of dates in this room. The half-paneled walls may well have belonged to the original yeoman of the 17th century. And the watercolors hung along the lower part are obviously modern.
And the collection of weapons and utensils nailed against the yellow plaster.
Those are the oldest of the lot. Inca Indian relics, I believe. No one knows how old they really are.
I see.
My wife brought them from Peru. This quiver, for instance.
Most enlightening. Most enlightening.
Hello. Hello, here comes Carlo. Well, how's the boy? Come here, boy.
Nice-looking spaniel, Ferguson.
Hello.
What's the matter with the dog's hind legs?
Oh, that's what's puzzled the vet. It seems to be a sort of paralysis. Spinal meningitis, he thought. Come here, boy. Come on. It seems to be passing off. He'll be all right soon, won't you, Carlo? Won't you, old boy?
He knows we're talking about him. Look at him thump his tail.
Did this paralysis come on suddenly?
In a single night.
How long ago?
Several months.
Very remarkable. Very suggestive.
What do you see in it, Mr. Holmes?
The confirmation of my suspicions.
What are your suspicions, Mr. Holmes? It's just an intellectual puzzle to you, but it's life and death to me. My wife's a victim of some terrible curse. My child is in danger. Oh, don't play with me, Mr. Holmes. It's all too horrible.
Calm yourself, my dear fellow. Keep a stiff upper lip. You may have to bear still greater pain, I fear, but I'll try to spare you as much as possible. I hope to have a solution before I leave this house tonight.
The storm has broken at last. I say, listen to the rain.
Yes. I got the shutters closed just in time.
Thunder, by Jove, at this time of the year.
It's a thoroughly bad night.
Sandwiches, senor.
Oh, yes. Come in, Dolores, and put them there on the table. Careful. Why, you almost dropped the tray. What's the matter, Dolores? Why, you look as if you'd seen a ghost.
I'm frightened. Listen. You hear that storm? It the great dogs of death howling round this house. My mistress, she very sick. She no take food. I'm frightened to stay with her without doctor.
I should be glad if I could be of service.
Would your mistress see Dr. Watson?
I take him. I not ask leave. She need doctor.
Oh, then I'll come at once.
You're sure you're not afraid? My wife may be really dangerous.
Oh, rubbish, Ferguson. I can take care of myself.
What you've a right to expect in clothes costing many dollars more is yours in Clippercraft at just a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. You get long wear that results from fine materials and good workmanship. You get good taste, correct styling as worn by the world's best-dressed men. And you get comfort and perfect fit from skilled designing and precision tailoring. American production genius applied to the making of clothes makes this possible. That and the unique Clippercraft plan concentrating the buying power of 924 of the nation's leading stores from coast to coast. You get the savings that result from this group buying at your own local independent store, at the store you can trust. Clippercraft suits are only $40 and $45. Clippercraft top coats and overcoats are only $40. Selling expensive clothes at inexpensive low prices at the nation's finest independent stores is the great big idea behind the Clippercraft plan. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
The leading stores in the metropolitan area that bring you Clippercraft clothes are Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th Street, Manhattan, Abraham and Straus, Brooklyn, the Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge, Newark, New Jersey, and the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue, Jamaica. These great, courteous, and friendly stores are proud to add their names to that of Clippercraft in the label of your suit, top coat, sports jacket, and overcoat.
I wish Watson would come back. He's been gone over half an hour.
He's all right. If anything had gone astray, I should have heard it. I've been listening.
Oh, so that's what you've been doing. You were so quiet, I thought you were dozing.
Wait. There's something now. Listen.
I can't hear anything but the rain.
It's coming this way. Hear it?
Oh, yes, now I do. That's Jackie's cane, poor fellow. He's coming in here.
It's the spine that's weak. I can tell by the limp. Sight will do. Here he is.
Oh, Father. Father, I didn't know you were back. I'd have been here to meet you. I thought you were out in the storm. I'm so glad to see you.
Gently, Jackie, please. Don't hug so tight. There, now, that's better. We have company. This is Mr. Holmes.
Hello, Jackie.
Sherlock Holmes, the detective?
That's right.
Oh.
Now that I've met your eldest son, Mr. Ferguson, may I make the acquaintance of the baby?
Why, certainly, Mr. Holmes, certainly. And just wait till you see him. How anyone could have the heart to hurt him. The most beautiful baby.
So that's it.
What did you say? What's the matter? Why are you looking out the window like that? What do you see?
The solution of this crime.
Yes, but the windows are shuttered.
Quite.
Well, I may say you gave me a start.
I'm sorry?
Oh, not at all. My nerves are a bit on edge. What with this situation and the storm. Jackie, go upstairs. That's good, fellow. And ask Nurse to bring the baby down here, will you?
Yes, Father.
Has it ever occurred to you, Mr. Ferguson, that this story about your wife's peculiarities might have been made up by the nurse to get revenge on her for some slight?
Oh, impossible. In the first place, I saw her beat the boy with my own eyes.
Yes, but the other...
No. Unfortunately, I feel that must be the truth, too. Nurse is a good woman with plenty of common sense. She's always been very fond of my wife and the baby. I'm sure she'd never have told me if she'd not felt it were necessary to protect the child.
Yes, I thought so. However, we were bound to consider every possibility. You never know.
Help! Help! She's getting him!
Hello, what's up?
Hurry, Holmes! Hurry!
Coming, old chap, coming.
Oh, this is terrible.
What's up? What's happened?
Mrs. Ferguson. Her bedroom door was open. She saw the boy go into the nursery. Quick as a flash, she was out of bed and into the other room.
Oh, it's awful. There was Jackie standing beside the crib playing with the baby when she comes in, raging like a tiger, shoves him aside, snatches up the baby, and dashes into her own room before you can wink.
Oh, quick. We must get the baby away from her.
The door's locked. We can't get in.
Break it down, then. Help me, Watson. 1, 2...
Stop!
Get out of the way, Dolores.
You know, take one step or I shoot.
Tina, look at her. She's got the baby.
In heaven's name, don't take the baby away from me. Please don't take it.
Stand back, you no touch her.
Go ahead and shoot. I'm going to save my baby.
Easy, Ferguson, easy. Dolores, would you mind pointing that revolver in some other direction? I know your intentions are good, but your nerves are a trifle unsteady.
Look at my wife, the murderess.
Mr. Ferguson, it seems to me that your wife is a very good and a very ill-used woman.
How can you stand there and say that? Look at her. Blood on her lips. She's killing him.
Has it ever occurred to you that a wound may be sucked for some other purpose than to draw blood from it?
What do you mean?
To draw poison from it. Your wife has been risking her own life to save your child.
Poison?
Quite. The South American household has weapons on the walls. When I saw that empty quiver, I was sure. If the child were pricked by one of those arrows dipped in curare or some other devilish drug, it would mean death if the venom were not sucked out.
You mean Tina's not...
I see, of course. Why, it's quite obvious.
And the dog. If one were going to use such a poison, wouldn't it be wise to first try it on the dog to make sure it hadn't lost its power?
Yes. But who could have done it? I don't understand.
If I tell you, I must wound you very deeply in another direction.
Oh, no. No, you must not tell him. You must...
Darling, what does it matter as long as you're cleared? Don't you understand? Nothing else matters.
Oh, Robert.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
Your wife knew how much you loved your other son. She was afraid it would break your heart.
Jackie? My Jackie.
Oh, Robert, you must not be sad. He's jealous, just a child. He will get over it.
Yes, we'll help him. Together. Oh, my darling, I'm so glad it wasn't you.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, there, darling. Don't.
Come, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Your work is finished. They no longer need you.
Yes, but, Holmes, don't you think we ought to...
And Dolores is right. Come along, Watson. At this particular moment, we're decidedly de trop. That's a pretty harrowing story, Dr. Watson. Did Jackie recover his mental balance?
Oh, yes, indeed, Mr. Harris. They sent him around the world with a good tutor. Sierre, marvelous for adolescent nerves.
Yes, Doctor, but how did Holmes know it was the boy?
You remember his saying he saw the solution of the crime in the shuttered window pane? Well, Mr. Harris, what he really saw was the reflection of the boy's face when his father affectionately mentioned the baby. Holmes caught a glimpse of such jealousy and cruel hatred as one seldom sees on a human face.
Well, Dr. Watson, that certainly is a thrilling story, and you certainly know how to tell it.
To paraphrase my friend Sherlock Holmes, elementary, my dear Mr. Harris. Elementary.
And what story are we to have next week, Dr. Watson?
Well, next week I think I'll tell you how Holmes and I spent the Christmas holidays at Pendragon Castle and became involved with a ghostly lady in white, the honor of the Nevilles, and a Father Christmas who, quite unexpectedly, sang bass.
The makers of Clippercraft clothes and 924 leading stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is produced and directed by Basil Lochran, with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Lives are lost needlessly every year when people die of tuberculosis. You do your part to prevent tuberculosis when you buy and use Christmas seals. And be sure to do your Christmas mailing early. Be sure sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in the Adventure of the Christmas Bride. If you'd like to attend the Sherlock Holmes broadcast in New York, see your local Clippercraft dealer, and he'll tell you how to obtain your tickets. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is the world's largest network, serving more than 450 radio stations.
Now, Crime Does Not Pay, starring Frank Albertson as Lon Tilden in Horseface. It was one of those off-the-beaten-path amusement districts. The bars were dingy, fly-specked, their windows curtained half their height with wrinkled green duvetine. The theaters, garish with naked white lights over 50-odd still photos from the movies inside, played scratched prints of 5-year-old pictures which had made no success even in their heydays. The dance halls were as aged and overpainted outside as their hostesses within, and just as weary. But there was money to be made here, not exactly honestly, and the usual type of half-criminal found the district good pickings. That's why Lon Horseface Tilden, his girlfriend Ginny Landis, and his pal Artie Ewing were casing, as the saying goes, the joint that was run by Dimes Wilson.
Well, what do you think of it, Artie? Ain't been painted in 10 years. Jenny?
That music sure isn't for dancers. If that outfit gets more than 50 cents a night, it's highway robbery.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Crowd ain't bad, though. A couple of blondes on the dance floor. See that? They ought to do all right, huh? Jenny? What's your expert, I tell you?
Take the girdles off Artie's blondes, and there wouldn't be room for anybody else on the dance floor. The rest of them, trying for 25, they look 35, probably average 45. The paint jobs are all pretty sloppy, too.
Yeah. In other words, Dimes ought to be doing all right now. It looks awful cheap to me. How many times I got to draw you a picture, Artie? We just cased the joint. It's costing Dimes practically nothing to run it, but he's got a good house. Okay, he's making money. Let's go. Check.
You know where the office is, Lon?
It's always in the back in a job like this. Pardon me, buddy.
Let us through, please, will you?
Hey, get a load of the cologne in that thing.
Yeah, cheap. Spell it C-H-A-P.
Huh? I don't get it. Okay, kid, save the spear. Here we are. Manager. You ready? Set.
The usual?
The usual. Here we go.
Who are you? Did your mother teach you to knock on closed doors?
I figured you wouldn't have no dame in here with a full house outside.
So what?
You're Dimes Wilson, right?
What's it to you?
My assistants. Virginia Landis, Artie Ewing. I'm Lon Tilden.
Oh, Horseface Tilden, huh? I wondered why they called you that. Now I see.
Now cracks. The face I was born with is good enough for me.
How'd you like it changed with a bullet?
Hey, this fella plays it tough.
Don't get wise with that heater, Wilson. Put the gun away, Dimes. I come to talk business.
And talk all you want, but I'm telling you now, there's no deal.
Oh? Well, there might be. Jenny, front and center.
Sure, Lon. Want the man to look me over?
She's a sample, Dimes, of the kind of hostesses I can send you. Instead of that broken-down beef trust you're peddling outside.
Maybe my taste is different from yours, Tilden.
Could be. But you'll do better business.
Listen, smart guy, I know my business. I put in dames like this down. I gotta paint the joint, get a decent band, raise the price.
You'll do all those things, Dimes. All of them. You're booking my girl, see? I dropped in tonight just to let you know. This is my territory from here on in.
Save the talk, Horseface. You're out of bounds. I service every hall in the district, and I'm keeping it that way. So get out and stay out. Unless you'd like to see your baby doll here ventilated.
You, want it this way, huh, Dimes?
I want it and I got it. Now you beat it.
Okay. For now. You'll be hearing from me, Dimes. Bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind.
Come in for a while, Lon?
You know Artie's waiting downstairs. Give me a kiss goodnight, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Careful, darling. Please be careful.
Careful of what, sugar?
Diamonds wasn't fooling. He's got enough hoods working for him.
Artie and me, back to back, we can handle anything.
For my sake, Lon. Leave Dimes alone.
Now, don't you worry your beautiful head about a thing, cutie. Just get a good night's sleep, huh? You kiss me like that again, I will leave Artie outside.
All right. I will.
Business before pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, kid.
Be careful, Lon, please. Please be careful.
Yeah. That you, Lon? Who were you expecting, Dimes Wilson?
I didn't think it'd be done so quick.
Business before dames. I wonder if Dimes is expecting us.
I hope not. He's awful fast with a piece.
Yeah, he's got to see us first.
You sure this is the way to do it, man? Huh?
You know Dimes, Rep. He's got his boys looking for us already.
Why'd he let us leave his joint?
Only dopes do any killing in their own joints. Dimes is no dope.
Say that again. Ginny worried?
Yeah, you know dames.
I'm worried myself. And I ain't no dame.
Okay. So my way is the way to take care of it. Quick and quiet. When Dimes ain't looking for nothing.
Yeah, but his boys...
His boys will work for me. Once we take care of their boss. In this racket, it's the dough that counts. Who pays it don't matter.
Could be. If we get away with this tonight.
Yeah, we'll get away with it. Dimes always uses the back door of his joint. He's got to come through that little alley between his place and the movie. His guys are all out looking for us, so it's a perfect setup.
Just a minute, you two. Hey, two guys, get out of that car past us.
Take it easy, Art.
We told you to stop.
Go fly a kite.
All right, you two, against that wall. Hold both the
Hey, quit shoving. What the thing like this?
You must I said against that wall.
You said. Make us.
Yeah, try it. Get up and do as you're told.
All right, stick and slide.
You quit. Look out, they got guns.
Yeah, have a piece, Mark.
Nice shooting, boy.
Yeah, quick, check that pockets.
Yeah, right.
Artie, huh? This one's got a badge in his wallet.
Mine, too.
Hey, let's get out of here. We've knocked off a couple of cops.
Cops? But I thought they was Dimes
Artie,
boys.
get the lead out of your pants. We've killed cops, you hear? We've killed cops.
She open up. Why did she open the door?
She sleeps sound. Go ahead.
Lon. Artie, what happened?
Let us in quick.
You got Dimes.
I wish we did.
Shut up, Artie. Jenny, give him a drink or something.
All right. What happened?
I'll tell you in a minute. Hey, I need one of those, too.
Sure, Artie.
Thanks. Thanks.
Lon?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, do you look like you shot a cop or something?
Not a cop. Two of them.
Lon! For heaven's sake.
They thought they was Dimes boys. They wanted to frisk us or something, I guess.
Didn't they flash no badges?
There was no time. They said, get against the wall. Lon said, stick him throat.
We let them have it.
What are you going to do? Oh, Lon, you know what they do to cop killers.
They haven't got me yet.
Oh, nothing.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Oh, shut up. Both of you. Let me think. Okay, I got it. Jenny?
Yeah.
You're going to sit tight here. That's best for you. Now, the cops never had nothing on me. They never even had a tail on me. So they don't know nothing about you. You're clean. Got that?
Yes. Yes, I get it.
What about me?
Look, that aunt of yours. The one with the farm upstate.
Yeah?
She hasn't seen you in a long time. You're paying her a visit. You're leaving tonight.
Now? By myself?
Now, by yourself. Yeah, take another drink. Then beat it for the station. Take the first train. Got that?
Yeah, okay, I'll try it.
What about you? Oh, Ron, darling, what about you?
Well, I'm going to head in the opposite direction from Artie, see? Then, I'm going to get myself picked up.
Are you nuts, Ron? You're crazy.
Am I? Crazy like a fox. Guns are ditched. Unarmed housebreaking. First offense. Why, the most I can get is 5 years.
5 years?
Artie will have most of the dough. You run out, he'll take care of it.
But 5 years, Ron.
Sugar, I'll be good as gold. I'll be out on probation in 18 months. Don't you see, kid? Nobody will dream of looking for a killer in the pen on a housebreaking rat. It's safe as aces. Then I get out, another name, another state, and the three of us will be safe and happy as 3 bugs in a rug.
In just a moment, Crime Does Not Pay will continue with Horseface. Now we continue with Crime Does Not Pay, starring Frank Albertson as Lon Tilden in Horseface. To all intents and purposes, Lon Tilden's plan by which he hoped to escape the consequences of murder appeared successful. His pal Artie donned the jeans of a farmer and stayed out of sight completely. Lon himself went through with his idea and in due course occupied a cell in the state penitentiary on a 5-year sentence for housebreaking. Ginny prepared to wait for her man's parole. All was quiet. But in the meantime, wheels had been turning. They'd been turning ever since a passer-by had stumbled upon 2 prone bodies in a dark street. A phone call brought ambulances, police cars. In one of the cars was Lieutenant Dave Abbott. He rode with one ambulance to a hospital. And as dawn broke over the city, a nurse approached him in the corridor where he waited.
Lieutenant Abbott.
Yes, miss?
If you want to see Detective Clark, you'd better come now.
Is it very bad?
It's a miracle he's alive at all.
I see.
The doctor told me to ask you, be as gentle as you can. He hasn't much strength left.
Men with 38 slugs in their chest usually don't have, nurse.
Is he a particular friend of yours?
I brought him onto the force.
He's in here.
Thank you.
Please be as brief as possible, Lieutenant.
Hi, Joe. Hi.
Oh. Hey, you there?
That's right. Take it easy, fella. Save your strength.
I've been waiting for you. I have to tell you something. Or go along.
Hey, what kind of talk is that?
No use kidding anybody. Least of all myself. My own fault. Gave him a chance to draw. Max, he dead?
When he hit the pavement.
Yeah. Well, I've been hanging on. I got to tell you something.
Now, take it easy, Joe.
One of them. Never saw him before. Bad light. Had nostrils. Like a horse.
Is that all you saw?
His hat fell off. Slick, dark hair. Thick eyebrows.
Couldn't see the color of his eyes. They were narrow. Thin lips. 2 lines, sides of mouth.
You did fine, Joe. In that bad light, you did fine.
Did I, Dave? Did I?
Joe.
Nurse, you better get someone. I think he's gone.
There it is, Lieutenant. Best I can do, I guess.
You only guess, Scott?
Well, you know how it is. A man works in clay, he might never finish. Always something to fix. I don't want to add too much to that head from my own imagination.
Jack, it looks like what Joe told me he saw.
Yeah, slick hair, narrow eyes, thick brows, lines alongside the thin mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The nostrils gave me some trouble.
They look enough like a horse's. No wonder that stayed in Joe's mind.
Well, it seemed to belong in that face at all.
Broken nose, maybe?
No, not unless he fell on his face when he was a baby and it was never set properly. Could have been that way. Any number of reasons. What do you want me to do with this masterpiece?
Paint it. You know, usual routine. Then we'll photograph it, circulate it around the country. It's a lead, and you never can tell.
Yeah, it might be better than you think. Anybody ever saw that horse face could never forget it. Suppose anybody ever loved him besides his mother?
Come over here, Tilden. In the light.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It might be.
Is it about my parole, Warden?
I'll ask the questions, Tilden.
Yes.
You know, Tilden, you do have a rather remarkably individual face.
Yes, sir.
How did it happen? Your nose, I mean.
I was born with my face, sir.
No doubt. Tilden, you have a visitor.
Today, sir? Why, I was visiting day last week.
Yes, I know. Just a moment. All right, Lieutenant?
Yes, Warden. I had a good look at him in the light.
Good. Tilden?
Yes, sir?
This is Lieutenant Abbott, Metropolitan Police.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Abbott.
Thank you, Warden. Tilden, where were you on last June 4th?
Well, in Millville, sir. I was picked up for housebreaking there on the 5th.
We know that. We also happen to believe that you were in the city on the 4th.
Oh, no, sir.
Does this picture resemble anyone you know?
Well, the nose looks like mine.
So do the eyes, Tilden. And the lips and the 2 lines alongside the mouth. In fact, it looks so much like you that the warden here noticed it when the circular reached him in regular routine. He noticed it even though he has 1,000 prisoners here, and you, I understand, have been very inconspicuous in your behavior.
Almost too inconspicuous, Tilden. You've been just too good to be true.
Oh, it's my first time in, sir. I want my parole as soon as I can earn it, sir.
The lieutenant is taking you with him. He has a court order on the strength of this picture here, and those we took for our files when you came in here.
Me? What for? I wasn't in the city.
A dying man is awfully careful to tell the truth, Tilden. Especially a dying cop.
You can't pin anything like that on me.
We think we can. Anyhow, we're going to give it a good try.
Well, I tell you, I never killed anybody.
Maybe not. In that case, you've got a twin somewhere.
I said I want my rights.
Save it, Tilden. Your street clothes are waiting for you. Get into them and behave yourself. Use that door over there.
Another hour, Tilden. I trust you're as uncomfortable as I am.
Yeah, you can be sure of that. Conductor's coming.
So what?
Well, when I came up, they wouldn't let me use the thing unless the conductor was there to lock the door.
Oh. Conductor.
Yes, sir?
My companion here wants to use your facilities. Will you lock him in for me?
Sure. Come on.
Make it snappy now.
Okay. There you are.
I
Aren't you unlocking the handcuff, Lieutenant?
Yes, I'm unlocking it. And when you come out, you'll find yourself locked right back to my wrist all over again. All right, get going.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Bad one, huh? Cop killer, we think. We hope. You hear that, conductor?
Glass breaking in there.
Open the door.
Yes, sir. Hey, where is he?
Pull your emergency cord, quick.
Yeah, right.
Conductor, the outside door. Fast now.
Guy's crazy, jumping off the train at the speed we were making.
Crazy or desperate? He stopped off. He must be in the ditch.
Yeah, back about an eighth of a mile. There he goes across that field.
A long cry.
You winged him.
No need to rush now. He'll finish his trip to town in an ambulance.
Lon, darling.
Jenny, are you nuts? Coming to the hospital?
The paper said you were shot. They didn't say how bad. How could I stay away?
That's the oldest cop trick in the world. They do that to see if anyone knows the man they shot.
I don't care. Is it bad?
No, only the shoulder.
Why'd you do it, Lon? Why'd you run?
One of the two cops, he didn't die right away. He gave my description to his pal. They made a bust of me or something. The warden spotted it in the pictures they sent out.
Why did you try to get away? Oh, Lon.
You think I'd give him a chance to work me over? Even this is better than that.
But when you ran away, didn't you confess?
They can't prove a thing. Even if Dimes tells him I was gunning for him. Hey, how'd you get in here so easy?
I just asked for you. Said I was your fiancé, and they let me right in.
That's too easy. It was too easy. Something's wrong.
Maybe they found Artie.
No, they don't even know he's alive.
When the cops shout, they work on cases like that forever.
They haven't got anything a good mouthpiece couldn't beat down in court. If they think they can get a confession out of me, they got another guess coming.
Oh, they got ways. Tests, all that. And they know now. They know you'd never have run away if you hadn't done it.
Nuts to that. Now, look, Jenny. Call Artie. Up at his hands. It's Owenville 9036W. Tell him to use the extra fund. Get me a good mouthpiece. But to stay out of sight himself.
Yeah, I got it. Owenville 9036W. I'll tell him.
I'll call from a coin booth so nobody can trace your call.
Yeah.
That won't be necessary.
Why won't be, Copper?
You were so right about her getting in easy. There's a microphone under your bed, Tilden. We've got the whole works on a record. The boys will be on their way to pick up Artie in a few minutes. You're done, Tilden, and the little lady here is under arrest as a material witness. It's a good rule, Tilden, to think before you shoot. I'd say remember that for the next time. Only there isn't going to be any next time. Not for you, Horseface.
Crime does not pay. Frank Albertson, who was starred as Lon Tilden in Horseface, will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Frank Albertson.
To me, the science of police work is a never-failing source of wonder and excitement. In this case, with nothing to work on except the dying man's description of a gunman he had seen only briefly in very dim light, the inexorable chase was maintained until the killer was caught and trapped in the meshes of his own scheming. More need not be said except to emphasize once more that no matter what the luck may be or the cleverness of the planning, in the end it is always true that crime does not pay.
Thank you, Mr. Albertson. Crime Does Not Pay is written by Ira Marion and directed by Mark B. Lowe, with music composed and conducted by John Garth.
Technical advisor is Burton B. Turtis. The events, characters, and names used in the story you've just heard are fictitious. Any similarity is purely coincidental. This is Bob Williams speaking.